change clothes, and go to bed. Su Yuan's gave the formula of the special blood cancer medicine given by the system to Zin Ziolai and asked her to quickly build a production line to mass-produce this special medicine. On the other hand, he asked her to quickly register the patent and complete all the necessary procedures. Yes, since having two little ones, Su Yuan has basically placed all her focus on her family, and she is in charge of all matters big and small in the company. The past 2 years have been relatively calm, and nothing major has happened. The company has been making steady profits and growing. Although the competition in the mobile phone industry is very fierce, that is because the boss of the company came up with 2 black technologies at a critical moment, which immediately ignited the Lumi brand. Although the company's mobile phones are still in the mid to low-end route, they have become the first choice of mid to low-end users, with a market share of 90% in the mid to low-end market, and have completely monopolized the entire mid to low-end market. I thought everything would remain peaceful like this, but who would have known that this time Su Yuan actually went directly into the pharmaceutical industry and gave her the formula for a special medicine for leukemia. All I can say is that her boss has been silent for a few years and is secretly planning to make a big move. This time, I guess Weibo will be in an uproar again. Thinking about the work assigned to her by her boss just now, Zin Ziolai felt a little helpless, but she still started to do it as soon as possible. Sure enough, almost as soon as the news of the special medicine came out, it attracted widespread attention from all walks of life. Weibo in particular was in an uproar, with almost the entire hot list filled with various derivative topics about this news. This directly resulted in no one paying attention to the various press releases that bought traffic and trending searches, and the number of comments and views under this question looked particularly pitiful. However, compared with the news released by Green Rice Company, these little things are not worth mentioning at all. Chapter 350 Husband, where are you going? Is this true? Our country has actually developed such an amazing special medicine. Why does it feel so fake to me? It is a recognized fact that China's medical level has always been lagging behind the international level. Many of China's medical equipment and various special medicines for treating difficult and complicated diseases have to be imported from abroad. Moreover, each imported medicine is priced sky high, and ordinary people can seldom afford it. This is also the reason why wealthy people prefer to transfer to foreign countries for treatment when they get sick. If one day they were told that such a special medicine had been developed abroad, they might not be that surprised, but this research result actually came from China. So most people don't really believe it. However, the one who issued the official announcement this time was Lumi. If it was issued by another small company, maybe people would just laugh it off just to attract attention. But a company as big as Lumi would definitely not do anything deceptive. A company that specializes in making mobile phones should just focus on making mobile phones. Don't think about changing careers just to make money. Have you heard the saying that different careers are like different mountains? The pharmaceutical industry is a very serious industry, and it is not for people like you to use it to attract attention. Your way of advertising casually may have some effect in other industries, but it is completely useless in the pharmaceutical industry. I don't believe that our country's level is so high. It sounds like bragging. It can make people well in 3 days. If there is such an amazing medicine, why would people open hospitals? They can just go to your place to buy medicine and take it. A large number of people do not believe that this miracle drug really exists because of the description in the announcement. The efficacy of this medicine is really exaggerated. Early-stage leukemia can be cured in 3 days. Mid-stage leukemia can be cured in a week. And in the late-stage, as long as there is still a breath left in the patient, it is very likely to be cured by taking medication continuously for 1 month. With this effect, it is almost like a magic elixir. Many people even sarcastically say that this thing is the golden elixir of Laozi, and maybe one can become an immortal after eating it. Maybe most people don't know the difference between blood cancer and leukemia. I can give you some knowledge about blood cancer and leukemia here. Blood cancer is actually leukemia in a broad sense. Some big public accounts also don't believe that the miracle drug released by Lumi is real, and they even openly started to advertise and mock Lumi, while also popularizing some knowledge about the disease to attract traffic for themselves. But some people don't believe it while others support it. Just because Lumi phones haven't increased in price over the years, their quality remains the same in the low-end market, and they've also launched super intelligent robots to provide convenient services. I believe this is a conscientious company that will never do anything that would damage its reputation. That's right. China is also a big country. Everyone has seen how fast it has developed in the past 2 years. Why do we believe that this drug can be developed abroad but not in our country? Some people have been kneeling for too long, and now they can't stand up. Anyway, no matter what, I will definitely believe in Lu Mi and Mr. Su. Although there are a lot of doubts about Green Me from the outside world, there are also very loud voices of support. Almost all of Lu Mi's loyal fans believe this is true. Inside the hospital ward, a very haggard man was lying on the bed looking at his mobile phone. After seeing the official announcement sent by Lu Mi, his fingers were almost shaking with joy. The woman on the bed opened her eyes and saw his smile. She smiled weakly. "What makes you so happy? Wife, have you seen this? Have you seen this news?" The man happily put the phone in front of the woman and said, "I heard that there is a special medicine now. Your disease can be cured. You must not give up." "Got it." The woman on the bed was also startled when she heard him say that, and quickly turned her eyes to the phone screen. But after she finished reading the notice, she frowned. "How could such a good thing happen? This is probably fake." "Wife, please take a closer look. This notice was issued by Lu Mi. How could such a big company cheat people?" But, although she heard what he said, the woman on the bed still shook her head palely. "This special medicine has only completed preliminary research and development, and there is still a long way to go before it can be officially launched on the market. Not only that, such a good medicine will definitely be sold at a sky-high price even if it is launched on the market. How can ordinary people like us afford it? So don't think too much." It's not that she is pessimistic, it's just the fact. Although such words sound desperate, it is better to prepare her husband mentally in advance than to let him despair when she is about to die. At least he wouldn't collapse directly by then. "Wife, don't worry. You don't have to worry about this matter. We will always find a way." The man clenched his fists and said seriously, "Anyway, I won't let you die. Even if you kneel down and beg me, I will get you the medicine." "Honey, where are you going?" The woman on the bed saw that her husband seemed to be about to do something big, and immediately grabbed his hand worriedly. "Even if I die, you still have a long future ahead of you, so don't do anything stupid for me." "Don't worry, my dear, you are still alive and well. How could I do something stupid?" The young man smiled, patted his wife's shoulder gently to comfort her, then whispered something in her ear before standing up and leaving. When he stood up and left, the woman's expression was still very worried, but there was a hint of hope in it. After the man walked from the ward to the hospital entrance, he took a taxi directly and arrived at the most famous villa area in the city. He got out of the taxi with a very puzzled look on his face and came to the gate of the villa area. He did not have an access card in his hand and had not contacted the owner inside. The guard here would definitely not let him in, so he just squatted at the door quietly. "What do you do?" After he had been squatting at the door for 2 hours, the security guard at the door finally noticed that something was wrong with him. Fearing that he had come here specifically to take revenge on society, several people came over and began to question him. He was a little confused by the interrogation. I just came here for something." Chapter 351, yes, it's me. "What could have caused you to squat at the door for 2 hours? I've noticed you a long time ago. If you want to cause trouble, don't you see where you are? If you do some damage, your life will be over." The security guard was quite displeased with him and said, "Quickly stop squatting here and go do whatever you need to do." The man trembled as he took out a pack of cigarettes from his pocket, took out 2 cigarettes and passed them to a few people. "Brothers, please be kind. I really have something to do here, and I don't know how to do it." The security guards didn't take his cigarette, but just kept chasing him away. "How can we believe you with your empty words? You don't look like a good person at first glance. You'd better leave quickly. If you don't leave, we will force you out." "Brother," the man looked at the security guard with pleading eyes. "My wife is almost beyond saving. There is nothing I can do." "Why should I care about your wife? You're talking as if someone else's family is better off. I still say the same thing, get out of here." The security guard showed no mercy, and after seeing him squatting there for a long time without moving, he came up and started pushing him with his hands. He was pushed and staggered and fell to the ground. However, just as the security guard was about to continue to drive people away, he suddenly saw a black Rolls-Royce parked nearby. The car window rolled down, revealing a clean and handsome face. "I'm so sorry. We don't know where this man came from. Let's get him out now." The security guard thought Su Yuan had stopped to blame them for dereliction of duty, so he quickly smiled and said. Su Yuan ignored him and just stared at the man who was pushed to the ground. After frowning slightly, he asked tentatively, "Are you Zhao Dong?" He stopped the car at first because he saw the security guard bullying people. After stopping, he found that the man on the ground looked familiar, although he had changed a lot. It seemed that he was from the same university. Yes, yes, it's me. Zhao Dong didn't expect Su Yuan to recognize him. He was overjoyed and quickly patted his butt and got up from the ground. "Junior brother, you still remember me. You're such a good basketball player. How could I not remember you?" Su Yuan got out of the car and looked at him and the security guard. "Why are you here?" "I—" Zhao Dong scratched his head a little embarrassedly. "I came here specifically to find you this time. Maybe I squatted at the door for too long and they thought I was a bad guy, so they wanted to chase me away." "This, Mr. Su, we really didn't know he knew you." Unexpectedly, Zhao Dong actually knew Su Yuan. The security guard's face changed immediately when he saw this. He explained, "If we knew, we wouldn't dare to do this to him even if we were given 100 guts." "Okay, let's go." Su Yuan did not blame the security guards for this matter. After all, ensuring the safety of the community was their job, and Zhao Dong's situation of squatting at the door was indeed quite suspicious. After dealing with the security guard, Su Yuan took Zhao Dong directly back home. Zhao Dong felt particularly restrained when he saw such a luxurious villa for the first time, and he didn't know where to put his hands and feet. Although he knew that Su Yuan was really rich now, knowing was one thing and experiencing it personally was another. "Sit down." Su Yuan asked Zhao Qingsu to take the two kids upstairs to play, while he himself received Zhao Dong in the living room. Zhao Dong was about to sit down, but when he thought about how he had just been pushed to the ground, his butt was probably covered in dust, so he was afraid of dirtying the sofa. So he waved his hand awkwardly. "I won't sit down. I came here mainly to ask you for a favor." Su Yuan saw what he was thinking, and without saying anything, he put his arms around his neck and forced him to sit down. "If you have anything to say, sit down and talk. After all, we were on the same team in school before. How can I not help you if you have any problem?" "I—" Zhao Dong was somewhat flattered by Su Yuan's treatment. He hesitated for a moment before continuing. "Then I'll tell you if it's inconvenient for you. Tell me what's going on first. Do you want to borrow money?" "No. Money is a small matter. After he graduated, he worked very hard and saved some money and bought a house. After his wife fell ill, he sold the house to pay for her medical treatment, so he still had some money in his hands. The most important thing now is medicine. I see your company has recently launched a special medicine for blood cancer. My wife was diagnosed with mid-stage leukemia 3 months ago. Can you sell me some of the medicine?" Zhao Dong rubbed his hands and said, "I know the price may be very high, and I can't come up with that much money now, but I can pay it in installments. I promise to pay you back when I make money in the future." Although he is an alumnus, he doesn't intend to get it for free. "So you came here for this medicine?" Hearing him say this, Su Yuan immediately understood. He patted Zhao Dong on the shoulder and said, "Don't be so polite. Money and other things are easy to talk about. How is your wife doing now?" "My wife is now." Zhao Dong sighed deeply when he said this. "My wife's condition is not very good now. The doctor said that if she doesn't get good treatment, she may only have 1 year left." "I see." Su Yuan stood up and called Zin Ziolai directly. "I'll ask someone to deliver the medicine now, and then go to the hospital to see your wife." Unexpectedly, things went so smoothly, and it seemed to be too smooth. This made Zhao Dong stand up in disbelief, looking at Su Yuan with eyes full of gratitude and surprise. "Mr. Su, you are so kind. I really don't know how to thank you." "There's nothing to thank for this kind of thing. It's just a piece of cake." Su Yuan patted his shoulder and said, "Besides, I'm not helping you for free this time. I will definitely charge you a small reward." Hearing that Su Yuan wanted to receive a reward, Zhao Dong agreed without hesitation. "As long as you cure my wife's illness, you can get any reward. As long as I can afford it, I can give you anything." "Look, what you said is still too polite." Su Yuan smiled and said, "What can I ask of you? I just want you to help me advertise it. You know that my medicine has just come out and few people believe in it, but it will be different with your help." Chapter 352, Lend Your Good Words. A company as big as Su Yuan must have an advertising department, a marketing department, and so on. It is definitely not his turn to be in charge of publicity. Su Yuan said this, to put it bluntly, just to give himself a way out. Zhao Dong understood this in his heart. He didn't point it out, but just nodded silently. People have already helped him to this extent. This level of kindness cannot be expressed in words. After getting the special medicine from Zin Ziolai, Su Yuan didn't waste any time and immediately asked the driver to drive them to the hospital. After arriving at the hospital, he asked Zhao Dong to take him upstairs. After wandering around in the inpatient department for a long time, we finally arrived at an ordinary multi-person ward. There were 4 beds in the small ward, and all of them were critically ill patients. You could smell death in the corridor. Su Yuan's mood became heavy when he came here. There is nothing he can do when he is unable to take care of some things. But if he is able to take care of them, he will never let things go on as they are. For example, this time the system gave him a special medicine. If everything went well, he could make a fortune from it, but in reality, he wouldn't do that. I'll transfer your wife to another ward. Looking at the woman lying on the cramped little bed. After all, she was the wife of his schoolmate. He felt a little reluctant to watch. Besides, it is not convenient to do things here, so I simply notified the nurse to transfer to another ward. Zhao Dong was stunned for a moment. Mr. Su, why don't we just stay here? The high-end wards here are in the style of small suites, and there are even accompanying rooms, but such wards cost at least 800 yuan a day. How can one afford it? Su Yuan seemed to see what he was thinking. Don't worry, it's okay. The most realistic thing in China is that no matter where you are, as long as you pay money, efficiency will increase. It's the same even in hospitals. About half an hour later, medical staff transferred Zhao Dong's wife to the VIP ward upstairs. You guys are leaving now. The old lady in the next bed was there to look after her grandson who also had leukemia. She was almost 80 years old and didn't understand why the nurse was there. She only knew that every time the nurse came and pushed the person away, there would be a heavy feeling in the room. Then she understood. Those patients who were pushed away from the ward either went home to wait for death or were already dead. So when the nurse pushed Zhao Dong's wife away, she looked very reluctant. Well, let's go. Zhao Dong took the old lady's hand and patted it. Seeing her unhappy expression, he immediately laughed. Old lady, don't be too pessimistic. Your grandson's illness can definitely be cured. As long as Su Yuan's medicine works, there is still great hope. Okay, I'll lend you my good words. Under the gaze of the old lady, Su Yuan and his group arrived at the VIP ward upstairs. The woman in the ward was a little anxious and kept asking the doctors and nurses what was going on and why she was changed to a new ward when she woke up. Zhao Dong rushed over in time to explain the reason to her. Wife, don't be afraid. This is a special arrangement by me. You see, he is Mr. Su. He is the one who researched the special medicine. He has agreed to give you the medicine. Your illness will be cured soon. After saying that, he introduced Su Yuan. Looking at the young man in a suit and tie who looked like an aristocrat, the woman was still very confused. She asked in a low voice, "Is it possible? His company can produce such advanced robots and has broken through various barriers in the field of mobile phones and continuously developed black technologies. I believe he can definitely create miracles in medicine." Zhao Dong is one of those people who is unwavering in his support for Su Yuan on the internet. After negotiating with his wife, Zhao Dong came over and rubbed his hands in front of Su Yuan. How about we start now? Su Yuan handed the first 2 boxes of medicine to Zhao Dong. Take 1 pill each time, twice a day, without interruption. Depending on your wife's condition, you should take it for about a week. Check on your wife's condition again in a week. If she's completely recovered, you don't need to continue taking the medicine. However, I may need to arrange for someone to record your wife's medication status. Okay, this will definitely be no problem. Who would care so much when their life is almost gone? Zhao Dong took the medicine box as if he had found a treasure. Thank you. After saying that, he quickly opened the medicine box, took out a white pill from it, and gave it to his wife to take with warm water. As soon as his wife took the medicine, he immediately asked nervously, "How do you feel now?" "I just swallowed Yao from my throat into my stomach. What do you think will happen?" Zhao Dong's wife couldn't help but laugh at his nervous look. "Don't worry, I will tell you if there is anything wrong with me. Now let them record my current situation." Zhao Dong's wife had heard the conversation between Zhao Dong and Su Yuan. She knew that her current status was similar to that of a guinea pig. "So I pray silently in my heart that this medicine will work. If it doesn't work, I will just do my best and leave the rest to fate." In the face of such a disease, even the wealthy are still at a loss, let alone ordinary people like her. Just rest and recuperate in this ward. I have already ordered the next 3 meals and fruits, and they will be delivered on time when the time comes. Su Yuan looked at Zhao Dong's wife and said, "You can believe in miracles this time because I never do anything I'm not sure of." "Yeah, I got it." For some reason, when looking at Su Yuan's eyes, Zhao Dong's wife's heart suddenly calmed down. Because of this drug issue, the debate on the internet is still in full swing. At the beginning, many big Vs thought that this was just a small thing and the heat would pass in a flash. But as the heat of this matter continued, they all entered the market to make money from traffic. There are more and more voices of doubt. Many people think that this is just a marketing method for the company. Although in this era of traffic, it is normal for many people to use various means for marketing. But everyone is unanimously resisting this kind of thing that jokes with life. After all, you can make any joke, but is life something to joke about? Hey, Kingsu, what's going on with this thing on the internet recently? Chapter 353, Then You Should Go Early and Come Back Early, Husband. This matter on the internet was so sensational that even someone like Zhao Ma, who only paid attention to entertainment news, e-commerce live broadcasts, and cheesy funny videos, saw the news about it and called Zhao Kingsu to ask about it. It's just like what they said on the internet. My husband has developed a special anti-cancer drug. Zhao Kingsu was a bit troubled by her mother. Don't make random promises when you go out. This is my husband's business. I can't make the decision. You've given him 2 children, so why can't you make the decision? Mom, have you forgotten the 3 rules we agreed on before? His father was a very familiar man who only liked to play chess and teach, but his mother was a very troublesome person. In order not to cause trouble for Su Yuan, Zhao Kingsu had already made 3 rules with her. As long as she doesn't cause any trouble, she will give them 100,000 yuan in pocket money every month. This amount of money is already the largest among the people she knows, and it makes Zhao Ma feel very proud in front of relatives and friends. Wherever she goes, she praises her daughter and son-in-law for being filial. Now all she keeps saying is that raising a daughter is worse than raising a son. It made her very helpless, but fortunately, her mother didn't cause any trouble over the years. At most, she made some contributions to those pyramid schemes of health products and bought a bunch of useless things for the family. But as long as she is happy, Zhao Kingsu will let her buy whatever she wants. It only costs tens of thousands of dollars every month, which is not a big deal. I'm just afraid that she might have evil intentions in other matters. Okay, I remember the agreement we made before. I just came here to ask out of boredom and curiosity. When it comes to the 3 rules, Zhao Ma is immediately unhappy. She grumbles, I've worked so hard to give birth to you and now you're controlling me. Mom, please stop picking on me. Okay, I won't tell you so much. Do you think I have time to care about you all day long? I have a lot of things to do myself. Since moving into a bigger house and having more money, Zhao's mother no longer has to cook. She just hired an aunt to take care of the house. She goes out every day to dance square dance or joins in the chorus at the Senior Art Center. She has met many aunts like her, and they play together every day. Her life is quite comfortable. After solving his mother's problem, Su Yuan saw that it had been a week, so he asked the driver to drive him to the hospital. Zhao Kingsu wanted to go with him, but Su Yuan stopped her. What's so good about a place like a hospital? I'll be back in a little while. If it were someone else, Su Yuan might have just asked Zin Ziolai to go there directly. But after all, she is the wife of his schoolmate, and her role is related to the promotion of his special medicine, so he plans to go there in person. First, to visit and comfort the patients, and second, to make the publicity of this special medicine more effective. Zhao Kingsu was helpless about Su Yuan's decision. She could only stand in front of him and help him tie his tie. Then she said with a slight complaint, People on the internet say that my works are ignorant of the sufferings of the world. It's like they are floating in the sky and can't fall to the ground at all. I would like to fall to the ground, but you won't even let me get a little dust on me. What can I do? Isn't this bad? Su Yuan pinched her face and said, Just wait for me at home. Those people on the internet can say whatever they want. You will never satisfy them anyway. What I mean is, you should go early and come back early, husband. After leaving home, Su Yuan took his people straight to the hospital and then came to the hospital's VIP ward. This time was different from the last time when it was deserted. Before he came over, the hospital's VIP ward was already full of people. These people included men, women, young and old, all wearing white coats, and it was obvious that they were all doctors in the hospital. Here it comes. Seeing Su Yuan coming, almost all the doctors rushed over and surrounded him. People outside may not know the latest developments about this medicine, but people inside the hospital have long known that this special medicine is indeed as effective as advertised. Because of the need to keep records, the patient's condition must be checked regularly every day. From the first day of taking the medicine, it was found that the number of cancer cells in the patient's body had been reduced by half, and various body functions were also improving dramatically. This data directly overturned their cognition, because as of now, there is no medicine that can achieve similar effects, and it is the same all over the world. However, this drug was able to reduce the number of cancer cells in a patient's body by half in just one day, which can be said to be a milestone. By the end of the first day, almost all the doctors in the hospital knew about this, and the dean was even alerted. The dean held a meeting overnight and forbade them to talk about this matter everywhere. If any news of this leaked out on the internet, he would not tolerate it. Everyone knew that the dean took this matter very seriously, and of course they didn't dare to talk about it outside. However, they were really too curious about this matter, and they were feeling very anxious, so they were paying attention to it every day. The news that followed was that the patient's condition was getting better day by day, and 80% of the cancer cells in his body had disappeared. 90% of the cancer cells in the patient's body have disappeared. The cancer cells in the patient's body have disappeared, and all the body's indicators and functions have reached the level of normal people. There are no sequelae left. It can be called perfect. This also makes their hearts more and more excited day by day. Even if this drug has nothing to do with their hospital, it was tested in their hospital after all. As long as they seize this good opportunity, perhaps the development of the hospital will get better. Hello, Director Sue. I am the dean here. Hello, Director Sue. I am the director of the inpatient department here. Hello, Mr. Sue. Almost everyone came up to shake hands with Su Yuan excitedly. Su Yuan had no choice but to perfunctorily answer them. My main purpose of coming here this time is to visit my friends, so we can talk about anything later. People in this world will not do anything without benefits. If there is nothing good to do, they will not stay here. By then, this group of people will definitely have a lot to say to him. Su Yuan was too lazy to listen. Okay, then you can go visit the patient first. I'll contact you if there's anything else. Even the dean did not dare to offend Director Su. After noticing that he was unhappy, he quickly gave way. Chapter 354, As Long as You Are Healthy. Is sister-in-law feeling better now? Su Yuan entered the ward carrying a fruit basket. The woman was still lying on the bed, and Zhao Dong was sitting beside her peeling oranges for her. As soon as he saw Su Yuan coming in, Zhao Dong quickly stood up and said happily, "My wife is almost well now. Thank you so much. I knew this medicine would be useful." Su Yuan nodded. "It's good that it's useful. How do you feel now, sister-in-law?" "I feel really good now." The woman stood up from the bed excitedly, gesticulating a little. "I really didn't expect this medicine to be so effective. Thank you so much. If it weren't for your flowers, I would have really been dead in this life." In fact, she was already in despair. Although being a guinea pig gave her a little hope, that hope was not much greater than the fire. Because she had read a news report before, a man's wife had a terminal illness that could not be cured. So she became a guinea pig and was frozen in liquid nitrogen at -130 degrees Celsius, waiting for her resurrection in the future. But there was no follow-up to this news. This means that there is an 80% chance that person will never wake up. She might just be a speck of dust that disappeared in obscurity in the long river of history. After confirming that this special medicine was useless, her life came to an end. But after waking up from a nap on the first day of taking the medicine, she found that her previously heavy body seemed to be injected with new vitality. She felt that her eyes were brighter, her breathing was smoother, even her hands and feet were lighter, and she no longer felt any pain in her body. When she opened her eyes and felt her physical condition, she thought she had arrived in heaven. When she confirmed that she was still alive, she knew that if this special effect was really useful, the news did not exaggerate its effect at all. This is truly Hua Chuo's magic medicine, Laozi's golden elixir. And she really saw a miracle, and the miracle happened to herself. Of course, she was very grateful to the person who gave her this miracle. As long as I feel better. Su Yuan placed the fruit basket on the table and said, "You can be discharged from the hospital after you feel better." Zhao Dong has been suffering a lot during this period. Although Zhao Dong is his senior and looks a little anxious, he is actually only 2 years older than him. Now he looks 30 or 40 years older than him, as if he has entered old age. Every time he saw Zhao Dong, he couldn't help but sigh. "Okay, but I still want to thank you. If it weren't for you, I would probably be dead now." Zhao Dong's wife got off the ground and walked around. She seemed to be so happy that she didn't know how to thank Su Yuan. Later, she simply knelt on the ground with a plop. "I know you don't need material gratitude, and we really can't give you anything. I can only kowtow to you." You're welcome. Su Yuan hurriedly helped her up, but Zhao Dong next to him also knelt down. Yes, yes, you saved my wife, so I have no choice but to kowtow to you. The two men knelt on the ground and kowtowed 3 times to Su Yuan. Su Yuan had no choice but to go with them. After seeing the patient, it was time to make the final records. In order to achieve better publicity effects, we decided to shoot a short video. But Su Yuan doesn't have to worry about these things. After he finished seeing the patient, he planned to leave the hospital directly. But as soon as he walked out of the ward, he was blocked by a group of doctors and nurses at the door. Looking at the flattering and smirking face of the dean, Su Yuan said calmly, I know what you are thinking, but I advise you not to think too much. I don't plan to use this medicine commercially. You should understand what I mean, right? Not planning to use it commercially. After hearing Su Yuan's words, the people in the hospital were stunned. Don't they plan to cooperate with the hospital for such a good medicine? You will know the details when the time comes. If necessary, I will send my assistant to contact your hospital. After dealing with the people in the hospital, Su Yuan went home. At the same time, the video of this special medicine was also released on the internet. There had been a lot of noise on the internet over the issue of special medicine in the past 2 days, and various companies had taken turns to join the battle. Seeing that there has been no new news coming out from Lumi Company, the heat of this matter was about to pass. But this video undoubtedly detonated the entire network like a bomb. This video can't be fake, right? Is there really a special medicine now, and the effect is so amazing? Hugyu is awesome, Lumi is awesome, President Su is awesome. I said that Lumi is a place that can create miracles and will never let people down. Always support Lumi and support Su Dong CP. This video proves that the special medicine is indeed effective, and the willingness to test it also confirms that the news is indeed true. Suddenly, almost everyone came down to ask for medicine. When will this drug be available on the market? How much will it cost? No matter how expensive this medicine is, I can afford it. I will sell everything I have to cure my daughter. Hurry up and launch it. Why are you making so many fancy things? Looking at the comments below urging for medication, the official staff also quickly responded. Because our special medicine is still in production, only a small part has been produced so far. In order to allow the general public to use our medicine with greater peace of mind, we are now recruiting a group of volunteers to use the medicine for free. There are 1,000 volunteer spots. This is the registration entrance. We will randomly select 1,000 people from the registered people to use the medicine for free. Please sign up enthusiastically. As soon as this special medicine came out, basically everyone agreed that the price of this medicine would be sky high. So I didn't expect there would be such a great event, and it immediately made people excited. Although 1,000 places are just a very small tree compared to tens of millions of patients, being able to save 1,000 lives at least gives hope to some people. Immediately, everyone who saw the news signed up. The consequence of this incident is, a group of people blocked Su Yuan's door. The leader was Zhao Qingsu's mother. Mom, what are you doing? Zhao Qingsu was very happy when she heard that her mother came to see her. But when she opened the door and saw a group of aunts and uncles whom she was not very familiar with, her face changed immediately. Chapter 355, My mom has caused trouble for you again. It's not that she doesn't welcome these aunts and uncles, but the main thing is that no matter what happens, it will definitely not be a good thing if her mother is involved. Oh, Qingsu is so lucky. We have never seen such a big house on TV. Only you can live in it. Qingsu, you've given birth to 2 children, and you're still so young. You really can't tell that you're someone who has given birth to 2 children. I'm your second aunt. Do you still remember me, Qingsu? A group of people surrounded her and praised her in various ways, trying to get close to her, which made Zhao Qingsu a little confused. But they were already at the doorstep, and of course she couldn't chase them out, so she could only let them in. You all came to see me, right? Come in and sit down. Zhao Qingsu invited them all into the living room. Your living room is so big that you can play basketball. Oh my, this place is as luxurious as a palace. This is the first time we've seen such a beautiful place. Several people first complimented Zhao Qingsu and then pushed all the gifts they brought to her. This is the imported fruit I bought specially. I don't know if you like it or not, but it's just a little token of my appreciation. What's the big deal about fruit? This is the wine that my old man has treasured for 40 or 50 years. He has kept it for half his life and has never been willing to drink it, so I brought it here specially for you. This is a lipstick made by our daughter herself. I heard it is made from pure cochineal. It must be better than those lipsticks on the market. Looking at them scrambling to stuff gifts into her hands, Zhao Qingsu probably understood why they came over. Take the gift and put it away. Zhao Qingsu asked them to sit down and had tea served. I'm really happy that you guys can come and see me this time. Yes, yes, yes. I guess this matter was too big, and everyone was too embarrassed to speak directly, so they could only turn their attention to Zhao Qingsu's mother. Zhao Qingsu's mother cleared her throat, took a sip of tea, and continued. Qingsu, these are all our relatives. Our family has always been very traditional, and we treat our relatives very well. Mom, I understand. Don't worry, I'll go back and visit them later. That's not what I'm talking about. Zhao Qingsu's mother coughed and said, Your aunts, uncles, and aunts all have some problems at home. I hope you can help. Okay, if you want money, I'll transfer it to you after I verify it. Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan have never been stingy when it comes to money. But there is also a principle: help in emergencies but not in poverty. If there really is someone in the hospital who is in urgent need of money, they will naturally help without hesitation. But if someone simply has no money and wants to get some money from them, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu will not be a sucker. This is something that relatives have known about in recent years. This is not about the money. Zhao Qingsu's mother waved her hands vigorously. This is. Oh, I'll just tell you directly. Isn't Yuan's company holding an event? There are 1,000 places for special cancer drugs. You said there are so many people with leukemia in the world, but there are only 1,000 places. Even if we all sign up, we may not be selected. So what I mean is that you can see if you can make a little concession and give these places to our family members. Zhao Qingsu knew that she came here for this matter. She sighed, Mom, I told you I don't care about this kind of thing. Besides, the company actually said that it would select 1,000 people, so it must ensure absolute fairness. How can it be operated in secret? When I heard that Zhao Qingsu meant to refuse, someone on the other end immediately got anxious. Qingsu, the company is yours. Giving us a spot is just a matter of a word from you. Is this a big favor? Yes, it's not that we don't want to pay. Just tell us how much you want, and we'll give it to you when we have enough money. If you want something, you can just ask for it. As long as we have it, we will give it to you. Qingsu, your uncle is lying in bed and is half dead. If he doesn't take medicine, he will die. At first, a few people were still reserved and embarrassed to talk about this matter. But after talking about it, they suddenly didn't care about so much anymore and started to play the victim while wiping their tears with red eyes. We also know that this is a matter of life and death. If we were not desperate, we would definitely not come to you for help. You can even treat outsiders, so can't you give your family members some privileges? I really beg you, as long as you can give me some medicine, I will kneel down and work like a slave for you. What Zhao Qingsu fears most is dealing with this kind of situation. She was in a dilemma and didn't know what to do. She could only stand up and said, I really can't make the decision on this matter, but my husband is upstairs. Can you guys sit in the living room for a while and have a cup of tea? I'll go upstairs and discuss this matter with my husband and then give you an answer, okay? Then go ahead, we'll wait here. Several people looked at her eagerly. Zhao Qingsu went upstairs quickly as if she was escaping. Husband, I already know that. Su Yuan, who was in the study, saw Zhao Qingsu come in. Before Zhao Qingsu could say anything, he nodded helplessly. This matter is indeed difficult to handle, but the company has regulations, and I am not going to violate them, so let them go. Okay. In fact, this is also what Zhao Qingsu meant. She sat down next to Su Yuan with some frustration. I'm sorry, husband. My mother has caused you trouble again this time. It's just a small thing. Life always has to have small imperfections. If everything is perfect, it would be fake. Su Yuan didn't really care about this. He smiled at Zhao Qingsu and said, Come and sit with me in the study for a while. They will understand what we mean later. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had not shown up, and the people who were sitting in the living room drinking tea gradually became restless. They couldn't help but start urging Zhao Qingsu's mother to get up. Zhao's mother, didn't your daughter say she would be back soon? Why hasn't she come in such a long time? That's right. I see you're praising your own daughter to such a high standard that it's just like that. Your daughter is the most filial to you. She will definitely listen to what you say. Otherwise, why don't you just stop sitting here and go up and ask about the situation? Chapter 356, What's Happening to You? Okay. In fact, it was not Zhao Qingsu's mother's original intention to agree to this matter. The main reason was that these people brought a lot of things to her house and flattered her a lot, which made her dizzy. She didn't know what to do for a while, so she agreed to this matter in a daze. Now that we've agreed to do something, we have to do it right. So she brought people here. Originally, she felt that she was Zhao Qingsu's mother after all. Su Yuan liked Zhao Qingsu so much and was a very filial person, so he would definitely not ignore her. But who knew that these two people would actually disappear? With these people fanning the flames, she felt that she was losing face, so she put down the teacup in her hand and stood up. I'll go over and see what's going on. Qingsu is such a troublemaker. She makes me worry at all. After saying that, he walked upstairs. But she was stopped by someone just as she reached the stairs. The nanny looked at her with a smile and said, I'm so sorry, Mr. Su said you can't go upstairs. Why can't I go upstairs? Why can't you let me go upstairs? The nanny's words almost made Zhao Qingsu's mother explode on the spot. Get out of my way quickly. I'm going upstairs to talk to my daughter about this. If you dare to delay my work, I will fire you directly. I'm really sorry. This was instructed by our director, Su. We can't do anything about it. Even though she had said so, the nanny still had no intention of moving aside. She just continued to look at her calmly. If you really want to go up, then you can call our President Su and his wife to see if they are willing. You... Zhao Qingsu's mother was very angry. Seeing that the relatives were looking at her with increasingly confused eyes, she was so angry that she took out her cell phone and said to the nanny, You are so arrogant, just wait. I will definitely fire you when the time comes. The nanny still had a calm expression and didn't even bother to pay attention to her. She just stood silently at the stairs. Meanwhile, Zhao Qingsu's mother called Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu separately. The two of them tacitly muted their phones, so no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't get through. What's going on with you? Your daughter is ignoring you. I know there's no such thing as a free lunch. I don't think this will work. Let's go home. Some people brag about their daughters as if they were something special, but in reality, I think that's all she is. Looking at the situation of Zhao Qingsu's mother, several relatives probably understood what it meant. They immediately rolled their eyes, stood up, and left. Zhao Qingsu's mother was furious at what they said. If it weren't for you, my daughter wouldn't have treated me like this. You guys have no conscience. I really shouldn't help you. She snorted, sat down on the sofa angrily, picked up the tea on the table and took a sip. After confirming from the surveillance video that the relatives had left the villa, Zhao Qingsu came downstairs. Mom, you don't respect me in front of others, so don't call me Mom anymore. Zhao Qingsu's mother was about to leave with a stern face. I have finally seen clearly that you don't even have me as your mother in your eyes now. Zhao Qingsu knew very well what kind of person her mother was. She calmly sat opposite her mother and said, Mom, I have already told you about the 3 rules between us. Now you have violated our agreement, so I will not give you money every month from now on. I gave you so much money before, you should have some money left, right? You should save this money. You... Zhao Qingsu's mother was so angry at what Zhao Qingsu said that she covered her chest directly. You kid, do you just want to piss me off to death today? Mom... Zhao Qingsu really had no choice. I told you not to call me Mom. If she doesn't let you call her Mom, then don't call her Mom. Just when Zhao Qingsu didn't know what to do, Zhao Qingsu's father appeared at the door. His face also looked very ugly. Today he went out to play chess with someone. When he came back, he heard that his wife had taken relatives to his daughter's house. He immediately knew what had happened and hurried over, but he didn't expect that he still couldn't stop it. I say, old man, whose side are you on? When Zhao Qingsu's mother saw Zhao Qingsu's father coming over to disrupt the situation, she sneered. If you help outsiders no matter what happens, then you don't have to live with me. If you really like to cause trouble for your daughter like this, and disown your own daughter just because of outsiders' affairs, then you should sever ties with me and my daughter. Zhao Qingsu's father was always very doting on Zhao Qingsu's mother when he was at home, but he was unexpectedly tough on this issue. The people at the Civil Affairs Bureau haven't gotten off work yet. Let's go and get the divorce procedures done now. You. Zhao Qingsu's mother was stunned for a long time, and was also frightened by Zhao Qingsu's father's toughness. I think you old man are just confused. After saying that, he stood up and left angrily. Zhao Qingsu's father did not chase after her. Seeing that Zhao Qingsu seemed very worried, he sighed and said, Your mother is a person who cherishes her life very much. She has bought a lot of various skin care products at home, all of which are things that can prolong life. Don't worry, nothing will happen to her. I'm sorry to trouble you again this time. Dad, don't say that. How can a family be troublesome? Zhao Qingsu wanted to help her father sit down, but Zhao Qingsu's father waved his hand and said, I won't sit down. I'll just say a few words to you and then leave. Maybe it's because of the worsening menopause. Your mother has become more and more extravagant in the past 2 years. From now on, you don't have to give us money every month. All the money is squandered by her. The useless nutritional supplements we bought at home are enough to last for many years. Zhao Qingsu's father patted Zhao Qingsu's hand and said, "Although your mother didn't save a penny, I did save several million. This money is enough for us to eat and drink." "Dad, what about Mom? I know your mother too well. Don't worry, she will be fine after a few days of being angry." Zhao Qingsu's father said, "Just live a good life with Yuan Yuan and leave your mother's affairs to me." Chapter 357. Dad, why did you suddenly say this? Dad, faced with her father's understanding and usual tenderness, Zhao Qingsu couldn't help but feel a little sad. "Hey, why are you crying, you silly girl?" Seeing his daughter's eyes filled with tears, Zhao Qingsu's father couldn't help but panic. "You are already a mother. Why are you crying when you don't agree with something? Besides, Yuan Yuan has never let you suffer any injustice, but your parents always let you suffer injustice. We are failures as parents." "Dad, why did you suddenly say this?" Zhao Qingsu held his arm and said, "Although my husband is indeed very good to me, you and my mother are also very good to me. You are a sensible child." While the two were talking at the door, Su's father and mother also came to the door, talking and laughing. As soon as he saw Zhao Qingsu and Zhao Qingsu's father standing at the door, he immediately greeted them. "Father-in-law, you are here too? What happened just now? When we were leaving, we met mother-in-law. I saw her crying and she didn't say anything when I asked her. Did you have a conflict?" "Hey, don't you know her temper? She just likes to lose her temper for no reason. I just need to go back and comfort her." Zhao Qingsu's father smiled and said, "You guys continue chatting, I'll leave first." "Why don't you stay for dinner before you leave? It's already dinner time." "No, I have something else to do." Zhao Qingsu's father left in a hurry. Zhao Qingsu could see that although he kept shouting that he wanted to divorce her mother, they had been married for so many years, and he would definitely not be willing to do so. Now he was in a hurry to appease her mother. "Zuer, have you been wronged? Why are your eyes so red?" After Zhao Qingsu's parents left, Su Yuan observed Zhao Qingsu's expression and asked with concern. Zhao Qingsu shook her head. "No, there's just sand in my eyes." "What do you mean by sand in your eyes? We don't believe such nonsense. Do you think Yuan Yuan bullied you?" Su Yuan's mother looked into her eyes seriously and said, "We will definitely not let him bully you, such a good daughter-in-law. If he bullies you, just tell us directly, and we will definitely stand by you." "Mom, my husband is so good to me, how could he bully me? It's because of my dad." Zhao Qingsu rubbed her eyes and said, "I was so moved by what my father said just now that I couldn't help but. So this is what happened. We were so worried about you, girl. Don't cry so easily next time." After listening to what happened, Su's father and mother finally felt relieved. "Have the two little guys finished school? We bought a lot of delicious food today. We will make delicious food for them when they come back. I've asked the driver to pick him up. He should be back soon." Zhao Qingsu smiled and looked at the things the two were holding. "What good day is today? They actually bought us so many good things in one go. Although Su's father and mother come over usually, they rarely buy so many things." Zhao Qingsu could tell something was wrong at a glance. "It's like this." Su's father and mother looked at Zhao Qingsu with some embarrassment. "We came here this time to ask you for something. Mom and Dad, are you here for the medicine?" Zhao Qingsu understood what Su's parents meant almost instantly when she heard them speak, but her expression was very embarrassed. "To be honest, my mother came here just now because of this matter. What I mean is that I don't interfere with my husband's company's affairs, so if you have any ideas, just go and talk to my husband." "Dad, Mom, what's wrong with you?" Su Yuan had been watching the situation upstairs, and of course he heard his parents' conversation, so he came out to ask about the situation. "Are you here for the quota for the special medicine too?" "Right." Su's father and mother did not hide anything. They put the dishes in their hands on the table and said slowly, "I told you about Lao Zhang who signed up for the senior university with us and worked as a volunteer. He is very talented. Not only does he write very well, but he is also well-read and can even speak English. Didn't he suddenly quit the senior citizen university 2 months ago? And he also stopped volunteering. We thought it was very strange at the time, so we called him to ask about his situation. It turned out that his son had leukemia and his condition was not very good. We went to see him and his son today. He used to be a nice young man, but now he has become very skinny. Old Zhang is also." Father Su sighed. "The old saying is true. Illness comes like a mountain and goes like a thread. Being ill is really torture. You said that this bad guy got sick, but the key is that the Zhang family are all good people. It's not that Lao Zhang took the initiative to ask for help. We saw that Lao Zhang was so pitiful, so we wanted to take the initiative to help him. If it's convenient for you, I'll give him a backdoor. If it's really inconvenient, forget it." After hearing what Su Yuan said, he paused for a moment and said, "Mom and Dad, the special medicine has not been produced for a long time. The quantity is really small. Basically, it has been used for activities. I can't give it to you now, but you just need to wait for about 3 days." "Okay, son, as long as you don't make it difficult." After hearing what Su Yuan said, Su's parents smiled and said, "Anyway, we haven't told Lao Zhang about this. If you have any special medicine, give us some and we'll give it to Lao Zhang. If you really can't give it to us, forget it. Just pretend that I didn't say this to you today. Mom and Dad, don't worry. If you really want to save someone as their son, you should try your best." Su Yuan readily agreed to this request. In fact, saving people is not a difficult task. After he got this special medicine from the system, he had no intention of using it to make money. After all, it was all about saving lives, so it didn't matter who he saved. But the people Zhao Qingsu's parents agreed to help were obviously not good people, who knew where they would take the medicine after getting it, so he rejected the idea outright. "Okay, let's go cook. Mom and Dad, let me help you tilde. Zhao Qingsu had no objection to Su Yuan's choice. She got up and went to the kitchen to help the two of them. Chapter 358, what can you think? After the news of the special medicine came out, it became an instant hit on the entire internet, and basically everyone knew about it. There were a lot of negative comments in the beginning, but as evidence was presented and this event began, the voices of those who had originally said that the drug was useless gradually died down, and all that remained were praises and enthusiasm. Our country has finally stood up. Who said we were backward? With this medicine, can I stay up all night peacefully? I won't die anyway. I think what you need is cerebral palsy medicine. Is your brain not working well? Staying up late doesn't mean you will get leukemia, it means sudden death. However, everything in this world has two sides. Just like you can't do one thing to satisfy everyone. Although most people are happy that Green Rice Company has developed a miracle drug, the launch of the drug by Green Rice Company has indeed hindered the interests of many people. So even though this miracle drug has been recognized by everyone, there are still a lot of articles about the Black and Green Rice Company appearing on the internet. Some even think this is a conspiracy. Even in Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast room, it's there. Originally, Zhao Qingsu had resumed her daily live broadcast, which made everyone very happy. But who knew that there would always be some strange accounts and remarks emerging in the live broadcast room? They were basically just some insults. After those accounts were reported and blocked, new accounts would appear after a while and do the same thing, which made Zhao Qingsu very uncomfortable. But it is obvious that these things were done intentionally. Many of Zhao Qingsu's fans often quarrel with those accounts and report them. Zhao Qingsu was very angry at the beginning, but after a long time, she no longer cared about such things. Instead, he comforted the fans in the live broadcast room. "These people are too boring, just pretend you don't see them. As long as we have a good attitude, they will definitely get bored and stop doing such things after a while." Haha, Zuer is still very open-minded. That's right, these people are too boring. They are probably anxious because their tails were stepped on. They should be anxious to death. Well done, Zuer. That's true, but there seem to be a lot of negative comments about you online. Don't you have any ideas? What ideas can you give? Su Yuan, who had been sitting next to Zhao Qingsu and watching TV and occasionally glimpsing Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast, happened to see this sentence. He casually leaned over and showed a pair of smiling eyes. "Let anyone judge right and wrong, merits and demerits. I only love my children and my wife." As Zhao Qingsu's husband, Su Yuan always appears in a Buddhist manner, and his appearance time is getting shorter and more casual. Oh my God, is this the scene where President Su dies? It's too scary. Otherwise, how can you say that I, Mr. Su, am amazing? Even with this death perspective, it doesn't affect my Mr. Su's appearance at all. Ha ha ha, Mr. Su's words are interesting. You really only have your children and wife in your heart. When Su Yuan first became popular on the internet, everyone regarded him as the national husband. But after a long time, basically no one thought of him as the national husband anymore. Because husband fans can't get excited at all. In a husband's heart, there is only his wife, and there is no place for husband fans like them at all. After a long time, the husband fans will naturally disappear. Damn it, this is too arrogant. In a warehouse in the suburbs of Magic City, mountains of medicine almost fill up the entire warehouse, and there is a table underneath the medicine. There were some cigarettes, alcohol, playing cards, and messy drink bottles on the table. Sitting around the table were several burly men. The men didn't look outstanding, but one could see viciousness in their eyes. They were not doing anything else but were the kind of people who specialized in selling fake medicines. Among fake medicines, this type of special effect medicine is the most popular. There is no other way because there are so many people suffering from terminal illnesses nowadays. There are especially many poor people with terminal illnesses, and their favorite thing to do is to come to them to buy fake medicines. Regardless of whether their fake medicine is real or fake, many people just want psychological comfort. After all, the patient is lying in bed waiting to die, and he can't afford the expensive medicine. It's impossible to do nothing right. Many people will buy the drugs even if they know they are fake, just to make themselves feel better and to make others accept it. But once Su Yuan's special medicine came out and was sold at such a low price, it was simply leaving them no way to survive, especially when they have a lot of stock. These goods are simply not selling well these past 2 days. Everyone is looking forward to Su Yuan's special medicine coming to the market. Let's just forget about this. But Su Yuan now actually dared to provoke them so openly during the live broadcast. It seemed that he didn't even take them seriously. If we don't teach this kid a lesson, he's really treating us like non-humans. Unlike ordinary people who fear power, they are originally desperate criminals. If they are discovered selling fake medicine, they will be skinned alive. Basically, they did this with the determination to die. Now that their source of income is cut off, their first thought is of course revenge. And it's revenge to the death. That's right. When someone first said that he wanted to retaliate, others immediately began to echo him. It's okay for this kid to just enjoy himself, but he's actually bragging here. I think he's simply courting death. The emotions of the group were quickly ignited. If we don't teach this kid a lesson, he will really make us an easy target. Yes, I have to teach this kid a lesson so that he won't dare to act so arrogantly again. But this kid doesn't seem so easy to deal with. Although they didn't know much about Su Yuan, they knew that he was a very powerful person. Such a powerful figure must be surrounded by a lot of expert bodyguards. If they really want to do something to Su Yuan, it won't be that easy. This guy is indeed difficult to deal with, but doesn't he have a wife and children? Almost instantly, someone found a breakthrough. He doesn't go out very often, but his child has to go to kindergarten, right? Chapter 359, Uncle, you are obviously lying. Yeah, why didn't we think of this? The 2 little ones are now famous all over the country, and basically everyone knows their existence, so they are now planning to have children. After 3 days of scouting, they had basically confirmed the time for the 2 little ones to go to and from school. After school, these 2 little bastards will have a special car to pick them up. I've seen it, and every time the driver goes, there's only the driver and no bodyguards or anything like that. So if we start with the kids, it will be very easy. After completing the site scouting, the group quickly came up with a detailed plan. This plan is divided into 3 plans, A, B, C. There are common points among the 3 plans. We can just improvise when the time comes. After confirming the plan, several people quickly began to act. This person first intercepted the driver halfway, which went very smoothly. They chose a section of road with fewer people and stopped the driver's car. When the driver got out of the car in confusion, they directly controlled the person with almost no effort. Su Yuan, this kid, thinks he's so great. He's the dumbest person in the world. He's always showing off everywhere, and he doesn't even know when he killed his own child. It's a pity that such a fool is still gloating over himself in his live broadcasts every day. Ridiculous. He will cry then. After controlling the driver, several people got into the car smoothly, and then began to brag proudly. After bragging enough, he took a knife and put it on the driver's neck. You should know what this is, right? The driver was so frightened that he was trembling all over. He stammered, I know. If you do what we say, I promise you'll be fine. But if you don't, I won't promise you'll keep your head on my neck safe and sound. Well, seeing that the driver was quite obedient, several people quickly put something on his waist. After putting the thing on, one of them continued, We have placed a bomb on your waist. If you don't do what we say, do you believe that you will be blown into pieces on the spot? I know I will definitely do as you say. What? Okay, it's time to go home from school. Bye, everyone. In the kindergarten here, as soon as the bell rang, the children said goodbye to each other and came to the school gate. Basically, the children who go to this school are from well-off families, so there is no difficulty in picking up the children. Either the parents who are housewives at home come to pick them up, or the family simply calls a driver to pick them up. The drivers are all certified and familiar drivers, and the children in the family also know them. Therefore, in such schools, there are very few accidents happening to children. After saying goodbye to his classmates, Ping and Ruyi also came to the school gate carrying his small school bag. The two little guys immediately saw the driver standing next to their car. Here it comes. The driver was standing under the car, but several big men were waiting inside. Their idea was very simple. As soon as the two children got in the car, they would directly control them. So when they saw the target approaching, several people suddenly became nervous. They kept urging the driver through their headsets, "Hurry up and get them in the car." At this time, they did not dare to act rashly. After all, there were too many cars and people at the school gate. If they used force, they would be afraid that they would not be able to escape in time. But if two children get in the car, you can only let them do whatever they want. They are just two little kids. What else can you do to them? However, what surprised them was that the two little guys actually stopped not far away. "Uncle Zhao, did you encounter anything unhappy today?" Pingyan and Ruyi were well educated by Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Although there was a driver and a nanny at home, Zhao Qingsu asked them to call the driver and nanny uncle and aunt equally and to be very polite to them in daily life. So when they saw that there was something wrong with today's driver, the two little ones noticed it immediately. The driver forced a smile and said, "No, I'm not in a bad mood today." "Uncle, you are obviously lying." After hearing the driver's answer, the two kids quickly produced evidence. "Look, your face is pale. You're not like this normally. How could you be fine?" Hearing the urging voice of the man in the headset, the driver's face became even uglier and big drops of sweat appeared on his forehead. He made an excuse in a panic. "I'm really not in a bad mood. It's no different from usual. Can you stop harping on this matter? Hurry up and get in the car. We're going home." "Uncle, if you're in a bad mood, you can just tell us. Don't keep it in your heart." The two kids were unsure at first, but now looking at his appearance, they were more certain that something was wrong with him. Ruyi was more concerned. "Uncle, you have a lot of sweat on your forehead. Are you feeling unwell somewhere? If you are not feeling well, you should go to the hospital. I will call my parents now and ask them to send another uncle to pick us up. You should go to the hospital first." After saying that, he took out his children's watch from his bag and was about to make a phone call. But her hand was quickly held down. Don't call, I really have nothing to do." "Uncle, you are wrong. Mom told us that if we feel unwell, we must go to the hospital." Ruyi thought for a moment. "Do you think that if you go to the hospital, my parents will think that you are not in good health and fire you?" "Don't worry, that won't happen. When the time comes, I will tell my parents that I like you very much, and I will just ask you to pick us up from school in the future. Yeah, my parents are such nice people that they definitely won't blame you for such a small thing." The two little guys kept trying to persuade the driver, which made the people in the car very anxious. Why are these two little bastards talking so much nonsense? In my opinion, we should just get out of the car and carry them back to the car. Anyway, as long as we go fast enough, there shouldn't be any problem. Chapter 360, Catch These People Quickly. "Uncle, can you really make it home?" Fortunately, just when a few people couldn't sit still in the car, the two little ones finally coaxed the driver into silence. Pingyan quickly opened the car door and prepared to get in. "If you have any problems on the way, you must tell us. We can call Mom and Dad and solve the problem." But as soon as he finished speaking, he saw that the car was full of people. He was stunned for a moment and almost subconsciously took several steps back, and then immediately made a judgment. "You guys are definitely not good people." After saying that, he took out his children's watch and called the police directly. "You little bastard, you still want to call the police? Come here." The twists and turns of the matter made the few people completely lose their patience, and they came down directly and wanted to pull the two little ones into the car. The driver subconsciously stretched out his hand to protect the two little ones, but the two little ones just stood there and didn't seem to want to leave at all. Especially Pingyan, his little face was actually full of anticipation. "You can't beat us. We have mysterious bodyguards." Pingyan had heard from his father a long time ago that he and Ruyi had very powerful invisible bodyguards around them, but he had only heard about them and had never seen one in all these years. So he was very curious about this invisible bodyguard. He had asked many times before to see what the bodyguard looked like, but his father would not let him see it and would not tell him what he looked like. Just tell him that if he encounters danger, these two bodyguards will come out to protect him. So he was really looking forward to meeting the bad guys. It was just that he hadn't encountered any bad guys for such a long time, which made him very depressed. He didn't expect that this day would finally come. What mysterious bodyguard? Is it just your incompetent driver who has no skills at all? It's simply hilarious. The man in the car spoke as he quickly stretched out a hand to grab Pingyan. But just when his hand was about to touch Pingyan, A hand so fast that only an afterimage could be seen suddenly appeared in the void. The hand instantly grabbed his wrist and then bent it hard in the opposite direction. Snap! There was a crisp sound of bone breaking, followed by a man's scream. The man widened his eyes and looked at his wrist, which had been miraculously broken. Before his wrist broke, there seemed to be an afterimage. But the problem was that he didn't even see what the person looked like because the person disappeared in an instant. How can it be so scary? Why did this happen? The man had never thought that such a strange situation would happen, and he immediately broke out in a cold sweat. He subconsciously took several steps back and looked around vigilantly, wanting to see where the man had come from. But the brothers behind him couldn't help but said, "Isn't it just dealing with a child? Why are you dithering? Are you unable to deal with a child now?" After saying that, two more people got out of the car, and each reached out to Ping'an and Rui, trying to pull the two little guys directly into the car. But the very strange thing is, the shadow appeared again. There were two crisp sounds of bones breaking, accompanied by screams. What happened? With such a big commotion here, it was impossible for nothing to happen. The teachers and security guards at the door soon discovered that something seemed to be wrong here, so they quickly surrounded them. Ping'an immediately pointed at the people in the car and said, "Teacher, security uncle, these people are bad guys. I have never known them and have never seen them, but they suddenly appeared in our car, and they were very ferocious to us. They are obviously not good people." "That's right, teacher. Quickly arrest these people." Rui also reacted, and they both started to complain. No one expected such a thing to happen, which made the teachers break out in cold sweats. Teacher Yu looked at the ferocious men and subconsciously wanted to step forward to inquire about the situation. "Who are you?" But before she could finish her words, the car started quickly. This kind of thing is very telling. Almost subconsciously, Teacher Yu took out her cell phone and called the police, and her hands were shaking. Fortunately, the two children were alert and nothing happened. If something had happened, not only would the entire kindergarten be implicated, but she would also be in trouble. Ping'an and Rui didn't understand why the teacher was so nervous. The two little guys quickly took out their kindergarten watches and started to make phone calls. "Dad, please send an uncle to pick us up later." Su Yuan, who was making snacks with the two kids at home, was stunned for a moment after receiving the call. "Why? If I'm not mistaken, a driver would have been sent to pick them up long ago, because we just encountered bad guys." Yes, there were several vicious bad guys in our car. Our driver uncle was so scared that his face turned pale as if he was sick. We thought we should send him to the hospital. "Dad, I saw that awesome bodyguard you mentioned. He's really awesome." The two little guys didn't seem to be scared by this incident at all. Instead, when talking about it, everyone was very excited, as if they had encountered something interesting. After listening to the two little guys, Su Yuan's tone was still very gentle. "Okay, I got it. Dad will come to pick you up in a while." Yes. Hearing that Su Yuan would come in person, the two little guys were quite happy. "Dad, you have to keep your word. We are waiting for you here." "Yeah, you guys just stay in the kindergarten. Dad will be here soon." Su Yuan answered gently, but his expression became colder and colder. Ever since he had two little ones, he has placed almost all of his focus on his family. He knows that no matter how much money he makes, it cannot compare to love and companionship, so he pushes aside anything he can to accompany the two little ones wholeheartedly, wanting them to grow up happily. The two little guys can be said to be a big part of his life, besides Zhao Qingsu. It is his weak spot, but also, it is the part that no one can touch. He doesn't care if you curse him online, but if you dare to hit his child, don't blame him for being rude. Chapter 361, Dad, what are you going to do? What's wrong, you are? Zhao Qingsu, who was giving a makeup tutorial in the living room, was startled when she saw her husband, who was making snacks for the children in the kitchen, suddenly come out with a very ugly look on his face. She quickly stood up and asked. Su Yuan changed his clothes casually and said hurriedly, "Don't ask so many questions. Let's go to the kindergarten and pick up the child first." "But I've already sent a driver to pick him up. He should be home soon." "The driver had a problem on the road." Su Yuan's words made Zhao Qingsu's face change drastically, but he quickly continued. "Although the driver had a problem, the children are fine, so we will go to the kindergarten to pick them up now." "Okay, let's go now." The two children were Zhao Qingsu's everything. When she heard that the safety of the two little guys was in question, she was almost scared to death. She just put on a coat and followed them. Soon they drove to the kindergarten. It was already past school time, and almost all the children had been picked up, so the entrance of the kindergarten looked a little deserted. The two little guys were led by their teacher to stand at the door, talking and laughing. When they saw Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu coming, they quickly ran towards them with their short legs. "Mom and Dad, you are here tilde. Are you all right?" Holding the soft bodies of the little ones in her arms, Zhao Qingsu touched them up and down. After confirming that the two little ones were really fine, she finally felt relieved. "You two really scared Mom to death. Mom thought something happened to you. Don't be afraid, Mom. We will be fine. Dad has sent some powerful people to protect us." "Yeah, that bodyguard is really amazing. He suddenly appeared, and then disappeared just as suddenly." The two little guys continued to talk about the bodyguards with great interest. After Zhao Qingsu calmed down, she felt that she shouldn't overreact and scare the children. So she tried to calm down and then reluctantly praised the two little guys. "You did the right thing today. If you encounter such a situation in the future, you must call your parents in time." "Yeah, we got it. President Su, Madam Su, we failed in our duty this time. We know we were wrong. We will definitely strengthen our protection of our children in this regard in the future." Fearing that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu would go to the school to make trouble because of this incident, Teacher Yoyu was the first to stand up and admit her mistake. "It's okay. This matter has nothing to do with your school." Although Su Yuan was indeed very angry, he also knew that the school and teachers were very responsible, and he could not blame them for this matter. Forehead. Parents are always very impulsive when it comes to their children's affairs. Teacher Yoyu was prepared to be scolded by them, but she didn't expect Su Yuan to be so reasonable. But this only made her feel more guilty. "Don't worry, Mr. Su. No need to say so much. I told you that this matter has nothing to do with your kindergarten, and I will not cause you any trouble. You can do whatever you want in the future." Su Yuan picked up the two kids and stuffed them into the car. "I have something else to tell you." "Oh, okay." Teacher Yoyu looked at Su Yuan in a daze as he left, and walked back to the kindergarten in confusion. At the school gate, after putting the two kids in the car, Su Yuan's first asked Zhao Qingsu to take the two kids home. "You go home first. I have some things to do. I'll go home after I finish my work." "Dad, what are you going to do?" The two little ones curiously poked their heads out of the car and asked, their big eyes full of innocence. Su Yuan couldn't help but touch their heads and said, "Dad is going to beat up the bad guys. Don't worry, Dad will be back soon." "Then, Dad, when you come back, you must continue to make snacks for us. The snacks outside are too disgusting and not as good as Dad's." "Okay, Dad got it." After coaxing the two little guys, Su Yuan was about to leave, but Zhao Qingsu grabbed his clothes. Zhao Qingsu's eyes were a little worried. "Be careful. Don't you still trust me, your husband?" Seeing the car carrying his wife and two kids leaving, Su Yuan called for another car. After he got in the car, he called out the Guardian of the Galaxy and began to inquire in detail about what happened today. After hearing the situation, his eyes became even colder. "I see. Go check the confirmed address for me." "Yes." What the hell?" In a warehouse in the suburbs of Magic City, after walking around for more than 10 times, several people finally returned to the warehouse when it was dark. Their wrists were now broken in a strange position, and the pain made their faces distorted. But after all, the job they did today was a big one, and it might even cost them their lives. Even though their wrists were almost broken, they dared not go to the hospital. They could only return to their hideout first, and then secretly call a familiar black doctor over. The few people had no time to think about anything else when they were on the run, but after returning to the base, they sat in their seats and thought about it, and they all felt that what happened today was too weird. It was obvious that the two kids were just weak little fellows. It should have been too easy to deal with them, but no one expected that Cheng Yaojin would appear halfway. No one knew who that shadow was and how he could be so fast. They didn't even get to see the person clearly before they were tricked. "Third brother, you should have been the one to scout the area. Didn't you know that those two little bastards had bodyguards with them when you were scouting the area?" Some people were so angry that they directed their anger at those who had scouted the area. The third person in charge of scouting the place also thought this matter was very strange, but at the same time he felt that he was innocent. "When I was scouting the place, I only saw the driver picking them up every time. I didn't see the second person at all. I don't know when that person showed up. Was I discovered when I was scouting the place?" After thinking about it, he felt that this guess was not reliable. He was an old hand at scouting places and should not be discovered. Chapter 362. This is definitely retribution. Where on earth did that shadow come from? My hand might be broken. Finally, someone couldn't help but growl, but his back caused dissatisfaction among several others. Can't you keep your voice down? We are still in danger. It seems that children from wealthy families are different. The bodyguards around them are really awesome. This is really a loss of both the wife and the army. They failed to retaliate this time, and the other party must be very angry. As a result, they were not only injured but also wanted. The most important thing is that they can't do business at all during this period. Although they made a lot of money from this business before, they were also very extravagant. Every time they got the money, they either spent it lavishly in nightclubs or directly spent it on women. There was very little money left in their hands. Brother, what should we do now? What can we do now? Let's hide for a while and wait for the right opportunity to strike. I don't believe we can fall into the hands of such a little bastard. Okay. A few people sat there and discussed it, and decided to recuperate for a while and make a comeback when the opportunity arises. However, while a few people were talking, they did not notice a black car appeared at the door. The car stopped silently at the gate of the warehouse, and 3 people got out of the car. The leading man had a slender figure and a noble temperament, but the aura he exuded was as cold as frost and made people shudder. The man was accompanied by 2 women in silver clothes. Bang! One of the women walked to the door and saw a lock on the door of the warehouse. She punched the lock very cleanly and quickly. The big lock weighing 1 kilogram was directly beaten into a pile of scrap metal. The other woman pushed the door open directly. 2. The men in the warehouse didn't expect that this warehouse was so secretive that someone could find it. They were frightened and all rushed to the yard of the warehouse in an instant. Then he saw Su Yuan with a cold face. Although Su Yuan didn't know them, they often saw Su Yuan's face on TV, so they recognized him at a glance. It's you. The leader couldn't help but sneered when he saw Su Yuan. What are you doing here? Are you here to cause trouble for us? You only brought such a small number of people here. Are you looking down on us? Boss, Someone wanted to remind him that the bodyguards around Su Yuan were very scary, but the leader had already rushed towards Su Yuan. The rest of the people had no choice but to follow him, but it was only 3 seconds later. The entire warehouse yard was already filled with people lying there. Almost everyone has lost the ability to move, and the entire yard is like a Shura field, with only wailing and screaming sounds left. Su Yuan stepped on the first boss who rushed towards him, his eyes full of coldness. You can touch anyone else. How dare you touch my child? After he finished speaking, he casually took out a lighter from his pocket. The lighter was quickly lit. Finally, it flew out in a parabola. Suddenly, a huge fire broke out all over the sky. What? A major fire broke out in a warehouse in the suburbs of Shanghai. The fire was caused by a worker who accidentally ignited flammable materials. A large number of counterfeit drugs were found at the fire scene, and the dead were all counterfeit drug makers. The person who sold fake medicine was burned to death in a fire. Was it retribution or human error? Soon, various news reports about the fire appeared on TV, and every headline was shocking. There are also many short videos on the internet. At first, when everyone saw the fire, they hoped that no one would be injured. But after they found out that all the victims of the fire were drug dealers selling fake drugs, almost everyone cheered. These people who sell fake medicines are getting their comeuppance. Last year, my uncle bought their fake medicines because he was greedy and wanted to get a bargain, and ended up dying before the Chinese New Year. These guys made so much unscrupulous money, they can only take it to the underworld and spend it. This is definitely retribution. No one sympathized with these people who sold fake drugs, and the internet was almost entirely filled with abusive comments. However, while everyone was cursing those who sold fake drugs, Green Rice Company's special medicine campaign had officially selected the people. Basically, they are selected from netizens who have registered online. Open, transparent, and absolutely random. I really didn't expect my husband to be chosen. If my husband can cure the disease, my family will erect a longevity tablet for the Su family to thank them. I was at my wit's end. I didn't expect to come across an event like this. I really hope my daughter gets better soon. I have sold my house to help my mother, but the hospital said that the surgery would cost another 300,000 yuan, and the chances of success are not very high. To be honest, I was desperate, but it was green rice that made me see a miracle in despair. Everyone who participated in this event was moved to tears of gratitude. Su Yuan didn't waste any words and let Zin Ziolai continue with the arrangements. At the same time, the family also received invitations to charity dinners organized by several of the largest charities in the country. Honey, are we going to this charity party? In fact, participating in a charity gala is an activity just to gain fame and spend money. It means just showing up at the gala, eating something casually, and spending money to take pictures of some worthless things. Su Yuan was indeed not very interested in such activities. He asked casually, "Oh, what is the theme of this charity gala?" "It seems to be about the growth of children in mountainous areas." Zhao Qingsu took a look at the invitation and said, "Why don't we take Ping An and Ru Yi with us? Our family doesn't lack this little money anyway, so we must participate in charity events." Seeing that Zhao Qingsu was interested in this matter, Su Yuan nodded and said, "If you want to go, let's go together." "Okay, it happens to be the weekend, and we can bring the two little ones with us." Zhao Qingsu told the two little ones the news with a smile. "I'll take you out to play on the weekend." "Where are you going?" "You will know when the time comes, so you have to be good and obedient these few days." Chapter 363. Mom said that the morning is the most important part of the day. Sure enough, the two little guys were very happy when they heard that they could go out and play on the weekend, and they have been very well behaved during this period. Early in the morning on the weekend, the two little ones got up and went to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu to wake them up. Mom and Dad, please don't sleep." "That's right, the sun is already shining on our butts. Hurry up and get up. We are going out to play. The early bird catches the worm." The two little guys shook Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu crazily from the left and right while they were sleeping. They woke them up alive. Zhao Qingsu reached out her hand and picked up the alarm clock on the bedside table in confusion. It was only 7:30. She suddenly had a headache. "Let's sleep for a while and go out at noon, okay?" "Mom, you said it yourself. The morning determines the day's plan." The two little guys kept insisting. "We are really looking forward to going out today. If you don't get up, we will be angry." "Yes, you are the adults, and your words cannot go unreliable. We have been very well behaved during this period. Children are more energetic, especially when they reach their age. They are full of curiosity about the world and look forward to going out to play every day." Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to get up from the bed with difficulty and change their clothes. However, the charity gala did not start until the afternoon, so Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu changed into casual clothes first, planning to take the two little ones out for a stroll and a meal. Although eating at home is also interesting, the two little ones are very interested in the small toys in the children's meal outside. Ever since Chi-Han came to take care of them last time, the two little ones have been clamoring to come over to eat delicious food every day. In fact, I couldn't eat much after I got to the store. I just wanted to collect the whole set of toys. They soon arrived at the store holding the promotion, and at Ping'an and Ruyi's request, the four of them ordered 4 children's meals. Su Yuan looked at the cute little burger in front of him with some helplessness. He gestured with his hands and saw that the little burger was not even half the size of his palm, and it was gone in 2 bites. "Do you think Dad can be full eating this?" "Hey, Dad, you eat so much, aren't you full?" Ping'an frowned and thought for a moment. "How about 2 more children's meals?" Never mind." Su Yuan almost vomited after eating this children's meal. "If you really like it, Dad can find someone to buy you a set later. It's just a toy anyway. Although these toys are authentic and sold in limited quantities with the package, if you want them, you can just post a message online and buy them." "Dad, it seems you don't understand the joy of collecting." Ruyi treasured the small toy she got from the meal and put it into her backpack. Then she asked Su Yuan seriously, "Think about it. For example, these 2 cute kids of ours. Do you think it's better if you gave birth to them yourself or picked them up from outside?" Ping'an added, "That's right. After all, the children you pick up from outside are the same children. The children you give birth to are the same children. Giving birth to a child is so troublesome, so why not pick up a ready-made one from outside?" "Okay, stop talking. I'll go buy you 2 more children's meals." After listening to what the 2 little guys said, Su Yuan had no choice but to order 2 more children's meals. He finished the 2 children's meals silently, and then handed the small toys and the children's meals to the 2 little guys, just 1 for each. After finishing the children's meal, the 4 of them wandered around the street. However, after walking for a while, I saw an antique street in front of me. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were not interested in antiques, but Liang Xiaojing was very interested in them. The main reason was that the stalls were filled with all kinds of things they had never seen before, and these things had beautiful patterns on them, which made them love them even more. "How much is this?" Soon the 2 little guys were squatting in front of a small stall, unable to move. What was placed on the stall was actually not a rare thing, just a beautiful wave drum, but the pattern on the wave drum was a little bit flashy. I didn't expect that they were tired of playing with so many toys at home, but were actually interested in a wave drum that was made many years ago. This also made Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu speechless. The vendor selling rattles took a look at the expensive clothes Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were wearing. The two children also looked very noble. He knew that he had found a good opportunity. He planned to rip them off without saying anything, so he picked up the rattle and shook it twice. He asked Ping An and Ru Yi, "Do you think this thing is fun?" Ping An and Ru Yi nodded their heads like rattles. "This thing is so interesting, we have never seen it before." "Then do you want it?" "Think." The two little guys nodded like little chickens pecking at rice, and then looked at the stall owner eagerly. "But I don't have a lot of money." "How much is this one?" The two little ones have pocket money, which comes from various red envelopes during the Chinese New Year and other festivals. Although it is not much, each of them has saved more than 100,000 yuan. In order to cultivate their financial management awareness, the money is at their own disposal. Every time before going out, the little ones would put some cash in their bags in a very formal manner. "I think you two little guys are pretty cute, and I like you two little guys, so I'll sell them to you at a low price." The stall owner held up a finger and said, 100,000 each. "So expensive." Even the two little guys who didn't know how expensive daily necessities were thought the price was too high. But their next words almost made the stall owner's eyes drop out. "It's almost more expensive than our bag." "Yes." Rui nodded. "My bag is only 98,000 yuan. You are indeed children from a wealthy family. Who else should I kill if not you?" The stall owner's smile became even more exaggerated. "Don't you know that this is not just a toy? This is a product from the Ming Dynasty. Look at the color, listen to the sound, and the patina on it. It would take hundreds of years to accumulate such a fine thing. Besides, even if this thing was made hundreds of years ago, it would definitely be used by kings and nobles. Ordinary people can't afford such good materials. This thing is unique here. If you don't buy it, you won't be able to buy it next time." Chapter 364. Yes, this is a good thing. The two kids listened to the stall owner's exaggerated words for a while, not really understanding what he was talking about. Then they asked in confusion, "Is this thing already hundreds of years old?" "Yes, this is good stuff. But aren't things from hundreds of years ago already old? Old things are usually sold at very low prices." Stall owner. The two kids' logic was so powerful and impeccable that the stall owner, who was good at selling, was choked for a moment. However, he quickly reacted and said, "You can't say this thing is old. This thing is good. You will never find such a good thing anywhere else if you leave my door. Can it be a little cheaper?" Ru Yi squatted in front of the stall and thought for a long time. "We only brought 5,000 yuan with us this time, so we may not be able to take out 100,000 yuan. Alas, 5,000, it's really too little." The stall owner shook his head and sighed for a while and finally showed a pained expression. "But I see that you two really like this thing, and selling things should be sold to the right people. So I will sell it to you for 5,000 yuan, but only 5,000 yuan each, and you have to give 10,000 yuan for this pair." 10,000 farts. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu stood by with their arms crossed, watching the two kids talking nonsense with the stall owner. As the bargaining entered a white-hot stage, the two kids just took out the money, and Su Yuan finally said, 10 yuan at most. Su Yuan knew very well that there could be no genuine goods in an antique market like this, so he bargained with his eyes closed. "Hey, I think you two bosses are bargaining too hard. You are cutting my flesh. How can I sell it to you at such a cheap price? This price is really not acceptable." The boss thought Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu would not care, but he did not expect that the first thing they said was the dragon-slaying sword. He immediately frowned and said, "How about this? I will give you another 20% discount. You can take these two rattles for 8,000 yuan, okay? I'm telling you the truth. If someone else were to buy me, the 100,000 yuan wouldn't be a small amount. I just thought these two little guys were cute, and they were perfect for me, so I decided to sell it to them. Forget it, if you don't want to sell it, we'll leave." Su Yuan picked up the two little guys from the ground and walked away, but he had only taken a few steps when the stall owner behind him called out, "I'm really scared of you. Okay, $10 is $10, take the $10. The stall owner handed two rattles to Ping An and Ru Yi. "I'm telling you, I sold them to you just to bring some good luck to my business today. Don't tell them I sold them to you for $10 when you leave." "Thank you, uncle." Unexpectedly, they could get one for only 10 yuan. The two kids were full of admiration for Su Yuan. "Dad is so awesome." "That is, have you learned how to bargain?" "I've learned it." Rui nodded seriously, looked down at the bag she was carrying, and said seriously, "Next time I go to the store to buy a bag, I will bargain like this." This? Su Yuan was a little embarrassed. "You don't have to bargain like this when buying a bag, right?" "Yes, yes. If you bargain like this when buying a bag, you'll get beaten up." "Then why didn't you get beaten up when you bargained so hard just now, Dad?" Rui's words really confused Su Yuan. Su Yuan thought for 2 minutes and said, "Because." "Is it because the uncles here are nicer?" "I guess so. Children of this age are really hard to take care of. They are like walking 100,000 while Su Yuan has to kill 10,000 brain cells every day just to answer their questions. Because the two little ones liked this place very much, and the things here were not expensive anyway, Su Yuan simply took the two little ones to continue shopping here. After the two kids bought a bunch of toys, they had reached the end of the antique street, but at the end was a place for gambling on gemstones. Go through that small door, and you will find a whole new world inside. The huge shed is almost as big as several basketball courts, with large and small stones neatly arranged everywhere. Some stall owners stand in front of their stones and shout in various ways, while others just sit quietly in front of their stalls playing with their mobile phones. There are quite a few enthusiasts of gambling on stones, and many people come and go. Su Yuan had heard of gambling on stones before. The purpose of the game was excitement. Some people became rich overnight by betting on a good stone with just a few dozen dollars. Of course, there were also people who spent tens of millions to buy stones that were worth nothing. Gambling on stones is all about eyesight. However, in his opinion, gambling on stones is nothing more than gambling, or buying lottery tickets. But the chance of getting rich overnight by gambling on stones is even lower than buying lottery tickets. I don't know why so many people like to play here. He just comes here to hang out. Would you like to take a look at the stones I have here? They are all good stuff from old mines. There is a high chance that they are imperial green. If you want to get rich quickly, come and buy them from me. Bosses, don't miss it if you pass by. When Su Yuan walked over, many people stretched out their hands to greet him. But Su Yuan just smiled and ignored the man. He just continued to walk around here holding the two little ones. The two little guys were also very curious about this place. "Dad, why are there so many stones here? Why are these people selling stones?" "Because some stones contain a lot of beautiful jade, and those jades are very valuable. If the boss thinks that the stones are very valuable, why don't they just take the jade out of the stones and sell it? Wouldn't it be more expensive that way?" Rui tilted her head and asked, "I can't figure it out." After hearing Rui's words, several people looked over here with some strange and ambiguous looks in their eyes. Su Yuan tapped Rui's nose and said, "You are such a clever little guy, but don't say such things in public in the future." "Why? When you grow up, you'll understand why." Su Yuan continued to pull Ping'an and Rui forward, and unexpectedly he met an acquaintance. Jingshan's cousin who had come to the farmhouse before seemed to be called He Yun. "Mr. He is awesome. What does it mean to spend money lavishly?" "This is called spending money lavishly. Among those present, only Mr. He can do this. Mr. He is a big customer here. This stone will definitely yield something good. Mr. He, you are really going to get rich this time." Chapter 365, Another Loss of 1 million Today. As for He Yun, I used to come to the farmhouse often, but I seem to have never seen him in the past 1 or 2 years. Su Yuan was still wondering where this kid had been, but he didn't expect that this guy actually came here to gamble on stones. "It turns out that I haven't developed any good habits." He held Ping and Rui in his arms and took Zhao Qingsu to take a look. Sure enough, they saw him cutting open a piece of stone that he had spent 1 million to buy, and the result was a horrible sight. The people around him didn't know whether they were hired as a shill or something, but when they found out that the stone had collapsed, they patted him on the shoulder and said, "Mr. He, don't worry about such small details. If you lose money this time, you will definitely make money next time. Didn't you get a piece of good glutinous rice before? That's worth hundreds of thousands. Come on, Mr. He. Mr. He, why don't you come to my house and take a look? The quality of my raw stones is very high, and they are mainly from old mines. If you don't believe me, just play around with them first. You can just pick a piece from me." A group of people surrounded He Yun so tightly that no one could get in or out. He Yun pushed them away impatiently and was about to go somewhere else. But in the blink of an eye, he saw Su Yuan's family. Jing Tian is his cousin who has a good relationship with him. Jing Tian also has a good relationship with Su Yuan's family, so he is also quite familiar with Su Yuan's family. After seeing Su Yuan, he immediately smiled. It turns out to be Brother Yuan and his wife. Hey, they brought two little ones with them. Come on, call Uncle. Hello, Uncle. The two little guys shouted crisply, then looked at him with wide eyes and asked curiously, Is Uncle unhappy? Uncle's face was so scary just now. Uncle is not unhappy. Don't say that again. He Yun patted the heads of the two little guys, smiled bitterly, and looked at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Brother Yuan, sister-in-law, why are you here? I was just bored, so I came here to hang out. I haven't seen you lately, and it turns out you're having fun here. Su Yuan patted his shoulder and asked, Have you made a fortune recently? Ah, please don't talk to me about getting rich. If I hadn't been obsessed with this, I would have saved tens of millions by now. Even if I put the money in the bank, I would have earned tens of thousands of dollars a day. But now I'm losing money every day. He Yun said this as he pulled his hair hard. It turned out that a year ago, he was brought by a friend to play with this thing. At that time, his friend asked him to open a stone at random, and he actually made $1 million inexplicably. For a second-generation rich man like him, 1 million is not a lot, but it is not too little either. At that time, he had the idea of making money from this. After all, the business world is like a battlefield now. With his attitude of spending all his time eating, drinking, and having fun, he would lose money even if he put in the money. He doesn't have the patience to start from the grassroots level, so he can only find ways to take shortcuts. He studied the various techniques of gambling on stones and consulted many masters. He felt that he had become an expert, so he asked his family for 50 million yuan and said he wanted to start a business, and then he entered the market very proudly. He had analyzed it carefully before and found that the reason why many ordinary people have little chance of getting rich overnight by gambling on stones is mainly because ordinary people simply cannot afford to play the game. After all, you can afford a stone that costs a few hundred yuan, but can you afford a stone that costs thousands of yuan? There are also stones that cost tens of thousands or even millions each. Of course, the good stuff is among these expensive stones. He felt that he was going to become famous at that time. In the first month, I spent 10 million to buy various stones. I bought hundreds of stones of all sizes, and the things I opened were only worth a few $1,000s. He suffered a little setback at the time, but he still had 40 million in his hand, so he was not too panicked. As long as he could find a valuable imperial green jade, he could easily earn back the money. But he lost money every day for the next year. Yes, every day. I lost more than 1 million today. Now he only has the 3 million yuan his father gave him for his business. If he loses all of this, he will be left with nothing. Now he felt that his entire head was bald. How can it be so easy to make money from gambling on stones? Su Yuan chuckled. If you really want to do business well, you might as well come to my company and learn it well. Isn't that something I can't learn? He Yun scratched his head and said, Brother Yuan, are you interested in gambling on stones? If you are interested, I can take you to play. I'm not interested. I just came here to take a look. Su Yuan glanced at Zhao Qingsu beside him and said, Wife, do you want to gamble and see how your luck is? I'm not that interested in this thing either. Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly and patted the two little guys on the head. But these two little guys are very interested. Whether you are interested or not, since you are here, I will definitely take you around here. After all, this is my territory, right? He Yun waved his hand and began to take the family around to visit the stalls, while also introducing the various types of raw stones on the stalls. Not to mention, although he had been losing money all day long over the past year, he had still learned the theoretical knowledge very well, and he could speak very logically like a master. Su Yuan asked, Have you ever considered becoming a guru to make money? With your eloquence, you can set up a stall on the flyover and make a lot of money as a charlatan. How much money can you make? He Yun waved his hands, his eyes full of expectation. I want the feeling of life and death with one blow. Either I lose everything I have left, or I make tens of billions of dollars in one go. If I can earn tens of billions of dollars in one go and bring them home, my parents will finally be able to hold their heads high. What if you lose everything but your underwear? Then I will go home and be a good son and never make trouble again. He Yun looked at Su Yuan with a smile. Brother Yuan, do you know the saying of bottoming out and rebounding? I haven't seen anything good in the past year, and I lost more than 40 million in vain. What does this indicate? This indicates that I will make a lot of money next. Maybe the Imperial Green is waiting for me right in front of me. Then just buy it slowly. Su Yuan shook his head helplessly. This guy He Yun was obsessed with this. He probably wouldn't listen even if you talked to him nicely. Chapter 366. My husband said he would not lend it to you. The goods in this store are definitely genuine. After bragging to Su Yuan for a while, He Yun came to an inconspicuous stall. His eyes finally lit up, and he casually took out a stone from the stall and explained it to Su Yuan as if showing off. Brother Yuan, look at the texture of this stone. Look at the texture of this stone. Smell this smell. I guarantee you, you won't lose money even if you buy the things on this stall with your eyes closed. Oh, I see. Su Yuan nodded. So you plan to buy it here? That's for sure, but if I want to make a lot of money, I have to choose carefully. After He Yun finished speaking, he started to pick stones on the stall very seriously. He picked up almost every stone, weighed them, smelled them with his nose, tapped them with his fingers, and professionally took out a magnifying glass and flashlight from his pocket and began to study the patterns on the stones. Uncle, what are you looking at? It was the first time for the two little ones to see such a magical behavior, and they carefully followed his example by squatting in front of the stall and touching the stones. Su Yuan said with a smile, "Your uncle is thinking about how to ruin the family. Brother Yuan, I've already suffered enough losses, so please stop talking bad about me. I don't want to be a loser, but there's nothing I can do about it, right?" He Yun continued to speak vaguely while biting the flashlight with his mouth. After he finished speaking, his eyes suddenly lit up, and he took a look at an oval-shaped stone that was about as high as a person's waist. He looked around the stone, left and right, and finally asked the boss very seriously, "Boss, how much do you sell this stone for?" The boss's attitude was not very enthusiastic. He sat on a small stool and played with his phone. He said without even raising his eyelids, "5 million. 5 million is too expensive. I don't have that much money on hand. How about you give me a lower price?" He Yun was really not joking when he said this. He only had about 3 million left in his hand, and he really couldn't take out a penny more. "Mr. He, don't you see what I have? Can other people's goods compare to mine? You are willing to pay a high price for other people's goods, but when you get my good goods, you start bargaining. There is no one in the world who does things like you." The boss said unhappily. He Yun's face was a little embarrassed by what he said. "Boss, then I have no choice, right? The problem is that I really can't take out that much money right now. If I really had that much money, I would definitely not tell you the price at all. No need to talk. The goods here are all good. I spent a lot of effort to get this batch of goods. I can't sell it to you at a loss." No matter what He Yun said, the boss refused to give in. He Yun had no choice but to turn his attention to Su Yuan. He approached Su Yuan with an apologetic smile and said, "Brother Yuan, how about you lend me 2 million? I will definitely pay you back as soon as I make money. This kind of thing is out of the question here." Of course, 2 million is just a drop in the bucket for Su Yuan, but he has principles when lending money to others. If He Yun really needed money for something, he would have no problem giving him the 2 million directly for free. But the problem is that if he wants to use it for gambling on stones, then there is no need to borrow money. "Sister-in-law, please quickly talk to Brother Yuan and ask him not to be so heartless to me." He Yun knew that Zhao Qingsu was soft-hearted and Su Yuan listened to Zhao Qingsu very much, so he planned to use her as a breakthrough point. "Sister-in-law, if you lend me money, I won't let you lose money. How about it be an investment in me?" "No." Zhao Qingsu took Su Yuan's arm and said, "My husband has already said he won't lend it to you, so I definitely won't lend it to you either." "Oh, you two are really too heartless. Okay, then I'll call my friend to borrow money." He Yun had no choice but to walk over and start making phone calls one by one. Probably they discovered that he was here, and soon a few people gathered here. One of the bald men also took a fancy to the stone that He Yun liked. The bald man was wearing all branded clothes, with a big gold chain around his neck and a string of rosewood beads on his wrists. In short, he didn't look like a man who was short of money. He was probably a small boss. However, after hearing the price of 5 million, he felt that the stone was too expensive, so he squatted in front of the boss and negotiated the price. The boss was very determined. No matter what you said, even if you mentioned a flower, his attitude was very clear he would not give you a penny less. "Boss, I want 5 million. However, He Yun over there probably borrowed some money, so he hurried over and bought the stone with a wave of his hand. After saying that, he glanced proudly at the bald man with the big gold chain and said, "Boss Zhang, I saw this first. Our Mr. He, who is known for his generosity, is here to do charity again. He Yun always loses money when he makes a move. Basically, there are very few people who play in this area who don't know him, so the words he says are very impolite. You will know whether I am doing charity or not later." After confirming the purchase, He Yun paid on the spot and then asked a stone-cutting master to carry the stone over. After the stone was carried over, the stone-cutting master began to come up with plans for cutting the stone, and finally gave He-Yun 3 plans to choose from. He-Yun looked at it for a long time with a magnifying glass, and finally chose the second, more conservative option. Cut slowly from the edge. Stones weighing 5 million are rare in this place, so many people gathered around to watch the fun. I don't know if this stone can produce anything good. This stone is really good stuff. Even if it doesn't produce anything good, we won't lose money. It's no problem to produce something worth millions. Of course, how can a stone worth 5 million yuan produce something worth a few $100s? Go, go, go. After hearing the discussions of the people around him, He-Yun started to yell in dissatisfaction. Stop talking nonsense. What do you mean by opening something worth millions? This is a good product that can be opened worth more than 10 billion imperial glass. You who don't know anything, stop talking nonsense here. Yes, 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 what Mr. He said is right. Seeing that he was unhappy, everyone agreed with him. The stone-cutting master also began to cut the stone according to his ideas, and the first cut of the stone was quickly made. Although it was only a thin cut, the cross-cut surface appeared a moist green color. Chapter 367, How much money do you have? Almost everyone was cheered up when they saw this moist green color. Isn't it true that they are going to release Imperial Green this time? If such a large piece is all Imperial Green, then maybe it is really worth more than 1 billion. Anyway, as soon as I saw the color, I knew that Mr. He had definitely made a profit this time. I've been playing with this thing for so long, but this is the first time I've seen such a beautiful color. This color is really addictive. After seeing this color, a group of people changed their previous ideas and became jealous. He-Yun finally raised his eyebrows and felt proud. Did you see that? The tens of millions I lost before are nothing. As long as I get a good piece of stuff, I can make it back in minutes. I was also very jealous of the big gold chain before, but I can't say anything when I see this color. Su Yuan was very calm. He patted He-Yun on the head and said, "Why are you so proud now? It's only the first cut. Why are you talking so much nonsense?" "Brother Yuan, hey, you don't understand." He-Yun pointed at the color and said, "Do you see this color? It's beautiful, right? If I find out later, I'll sell it to you at a low price, and you can go back and make 2 nice pieces of jewelry for your sister-in-law. This color will look good on either a ring or a necklace. If you really can't make it, you can make a whole set. That's jewelry that will be passed down from generation to generation." "Okay." Seeing how excited he was, Su Yuan nodded and agreed. "If all the pieces turned out to be good stuff, I'll give it to you at the highest market price. I'll divide this huge piece into pieces and make jade pendants for the 2 kids, and a complete set of jewelry for my wife. It turns out that you two are truly in love, and the child is just an accident." He-Yun made a joke. Su Yuan slapped him directly. When the stone-cutting master saw that the green color came out after just 1 cut, he immediately became more cautious in his work, because stone cutting is a very serious process. Even if it is a peerless jade, if you accidentally damage it while cutting, the price of this jade will be greatly reduced. Therefore, the stone cutter must be extra careful. After finally deciding on several plans, the stone-cutting master began the second cut, which was to cut from the middle. Basically, with this cut, you can see the entire picture of the original stone. Forehead. But after the machine cut the stone into 2 halves, everyone's eyes suddenly became strange, because the beautiful green color just now is gone, and what appears is a very strange dark color. This color is called mottled color, and basically nothing good can be produced. I thought this time they were going to release the rare Imperial Green that is rarely seen in decades. I didn't expect it to be a false alarm. What are you thinking about? How could something as awesome as Imperial Green be produced so easily? There is no such a good thing in the world. It seems that our Mr. He has lost several million again. After seeing the stone collapse, although many people were very disappointed, more people were gloating. The young boss with the big gold chain saw He-Yun's ugly face and couldn't help but said with a smile, "Mr. He, you must be very painful to lose 5 million this time. I just heard you calling someone to borrow money. How about this? I'm a kind person and I can't bear to see others suffer. Just sell this rough stone to me and I will take 100,000 yuan. Although this raw stone is destined not to be worth much money, the green color on the left is okay. If the whole piece is taken out, it can be made into a few pendants and sold for a good price. Of course, it is impossible to sell at a high price. I bought it for 5 million and you want to take it for 100,000. There is no such good thing in the world." He-Yun gritted his teeth and said, "I would never sell it to you even if it cost me a fortune." Mr. He, you see, what you said was just an angry remark, right? You know the rules in this business. The main thing is that your thing is not a good thing. If it is a good thing, I will spend hundreds of millions to buy it. But it is obvious that I will risk losing money even if I buy it for 100,000 yuan. The big gold chain snorted. You can sell it if you want. Who would want it if it were someone else? Ha ha ha, that is to say, this stone has actually collapsed. Mr. He, you might as well just sell it. Although you may not think highly of 100,000 yuan, it is still money. Money is not divided into high and low. If you don't sell it, you'll lose it. The group of people around were also echoing what the big gold chain said, and amidst the voices of persuasion, a crisp child's voice was heard. Dad, I want it. Rui stared at the stone for a while and began to ask Su Yuan for his opinion. Dad, I think this color is very beautiful. Can I buy it? You think this color is beautiful? Su Yuan was startled by Rui's words. He wondered if there was something wrong with his daughter's eyes, or... He pointed to the mottled cross-section and asked, Do you think this color is beautiful? No, I just think the colors here must be beautiful. Rui thought for a moment and said. The people around her burst into laughter after hearing what she said. Little girl, the color inside must be similar to this color, so don't talk nonsense. Rui, if you want it, then buy it, okay. Su Yuan narrowed his eyes but did not laugh at Rui. Instead, he looked at her seriously. But you have to spend your own money. Okay, uncle, how much do you want to sell this stone to me? Rui tilted her head and pulled He Yun's clothes. Name your price. You want this stone, little guy? We have such a good relationship, so I'll just give it to you. If it were someone else, he might not be willing to sell it even if he was offered 500,000 or 800,000 yuan. But the little girl likes it, so it's not a problem to give it to her. Just think of it as buying her a toy. No matter what color the thing that comes out of the stone is. It would be nice to carve a cute anime character into it as a decoration. No, I said I would buy it, so I must buy it. Rui's face was very serious. After all, uncle, you spent money to buy this stone just now, so I must spend money to buy it too. Well, well, well. Seeing the little girl was so serious, He Yun had no choice but to ask, How much money do you have? Chapter 368. This girl is so lucky. Uncle, you just bought this stone for 5 million, right? You have already cut it in half, which means its value has been discounted by half. Then I will give you 2.5 million. Rui counted with difficulty on her fingers for a long time, and finally figured it out, but the problem came again. But I don't have that much money, 2.5 million. Uncle doesn't want so much money from you. You still have to pay what you owe. You can't let acquaintances suffer a loss. After Rui finished speaking, she looked up at Su Yuan and said, Dad, do you want to lend me some money? Su Yuan squatted down and tapped her nose. Dad won't lend you so much money, but if you want so much money, you can earn it yourself. If you promise to get up and sweep the yard for an hour every weekend, then I will give you the money. Then how long will I have to sweep? Rui counted on her fingers. You won't let me sweep the yard for the rest of my life, will you? Just sweep the yard for a year. Okay, deal. Rui nodded immediately, and Su Yuan was also very serious and wanted to give the money to He Yun on the spot. But He Yun waved his hand and said, Brother Yuan, you know I was wrong again this time. This stone is broken anyway. I'll just give it to the little girl to play with. Don't talk about money. The little girl said she would sweep the floor for a year to buy this stone. Can I really not pay her? Su Yuan forcibly transferred the money. He Yun felt embarrassed when he got the money. Rui happily ran over and asked the stone cutter to continue cutting. Grandpa, please cut it for me from this place. Okay. The education method for children from wealthy families is really different. More than 2 million yuan is just like flowing water for the children to play with. The stone-cutting master sighed in his heart and cut it with a machine according to Rui's idea. However, once the machine was put into operation and the stone was split into 2 halves, almost everyone's eyes almost popped out. Because what you see is a sea of purple. It was a pure and transparent purple, and the water content was excellent. You could tell at first glance that it was definitely not an ordinary item. What the hell, what the hell, what the hell? What the hell is this? How come such a beautiful color suddenly appeared? This is not right. Is this the legendary Imperial Purple? Isn't this little girl too lucky? The group of people were originally planning to leave, but they didn't expect such a shocking setback. They were all stunned. And they also understood why there was mixed color in the middle of the raw stone when it was cut. It turned out that the little bit of green jadeite before was accompanied by this imperial purple jadeite. The true appearance of this raw stone is imperial purple. The transitional colors in the middle are the mixed colors. But because such a situation is so rare, they didn't even think about it and thought that the raw stone had collapsed. This is a completely shocking reversal. Master Jaishi did not expect such a situation to happen. His hands were shaking with surprise. He quickly looked towards Su Yuan and said, "Mr. Su, what do you think we should do next? If this pure color could be maintained to the size of 2 fists, then this piece of raw stone would be worth tens of millions. But if this pure color could be preserved to the size of a large mineral water bottle, then the price of this raw stone would definitely be over 100 million. Let's look at her." Although Su Yuan had already known this would be the result, he was not very surprised. However, since Ruyi was the one who made all the decisions from beginning to end, he still planned to give all decision-making power to Ruyi. "Little girl, why don't you sell this rough stone to me? I'll give you 5 million. Screw you, stop lying to that little girl. How can you possibly buy this rough stone for 5 million? I'll give you 10 million. 10 million is nothing. I'll give you 20 million. When the people around saw the purple, they all showed ecstasy in their eyes and started bidding without saying a word. The big gold chain also changed his arrogant look and squatted carefully in front of Ruyi. "Little girl, Uncle will buy your rough stone for 20 million, okay? You only spent 2.5 million when you bought it, and you sold it for 20 million. Basically, this is pure profit." "What is profitable or not profitable?" Ruyi opened her eyes wide. "I bought it because I really like it. I don't want to sell it now. And you can see that in order to borrow 2.5 million from my father, I have to get up every weekend and sweep the yard for a year." After she finished speaking, she was too lazy to talk nonsense with others, and went to the stone cutter to continue gesturing. "Cut it for me from here." Ruyi didn't understand these things after all, so she didn't have any skills when cutting. In the end, she cut out a square piece of purple ice-type imperial purple jadeite that was almost as tall as her. Looking at the piece of imperial purple jadeite that seemed to be glowing, almost everyone's eyes turned into obsession. "This is the first time I've seen such beautiful jade. No wonder some people are obsessed with jade. There's a reason for it. This piece of jade is worth at least a few billion, right? The little girl has a promising future. She has such good vision at such a young age. What will she be like when she grows up?" Amidst the envy of everyone, Ruyi refused to sell the jade no matter how much others offered, but instead asked someone to keep it. "How is it? Do you feel bad?" Su Yuan patted He Yun's chest and found that he looked very unhappy, so he asked, "I'm afraid you didn't expect this result, right?" "Yeah, I really didn't expect this result." Every time He Yun suffered losses before, he was very stubborn. He would not give up until he had broken the raw stone into pieces, hoping that something good might come out of it. But we had experienced so many things that year before, but not a single good thing came out. But this time, when he had given up, who would have thought that a rare imperial purple jadeite would actually appear? It seems that God doesn't want him to have this job. He sighed quietly, then lowered his head. "Forget it, just accept my fate. It seems that I am not destined to have a good baby." "Uncle, I know you like this thing too." Ruyi saw that he seemed very disappointed, so she smiled and said, "Don't worry, I will give you one when the time comes." Chapter 369. Speaking of high moral character, it has to be our President Su. "Oh, you want to give Uncle a gift?" Su Yuan was curious about what Ruyi was thinking when he suddenly got such a good thing. "Have you figured out how to divide it?" "I've thought about it." Ruyi nodded. "I want to make this thing into a pendant, one for my parents, one for my grandparents, one for my brother, one for my grandparents, one for my godmother Qi Han and Jing Tian, and one for my uncle. As for the rest, I'll sell it and use it as my own piggy bank." "This is really thoughtful." Su Yuan pinched Ruyi's little face and said, "You are worthy of being my daughter. You are not obsessed with money. So let's put it this way. The pendant you gave to Dad can be regarded as Dad buying you to enrich your little treasury." "Dad, I want one too." Ping En was a little jealous. "I want to sweep the yard and have a small stash too. If you clean the yard carefully, I'll make a small safe for you too." They spent a lot of time in the antique street, and when they came out to eat, it was time for the charity dinner. The family hurried back home, changed into little dresses, and went directly to the charity gala. The charity gala was about to begin when they arrived. However, the various media at the door were still craning their necks to look. When they saw Su Yuan's car coming, the media, which had originally lost interest, suddenly became excited and rushed towards this side with cameras in their hands as if they were injected with chicken blood. Several security guards didn't understand why the media suddenly became so excited. They were knocked to the ground by the excited media, and it took them a long time to get up. Wow, there are so many people here. It was the first time for the two little ones to attend a charity gala, and they were a little uncomfortable with the media carrying cameras. Zhao Qingsu straightened their clothes and said, "Yes, there are a lot of people here, but don't be afraid, just stay with your parents. Remember to smile nicely because they will take pictures." "I know, Mom." Soon, under the expectation of the media, the family appeared on the red carpet. Although Su Yuan has rarely appeared in public recently, his appearance has not changed much from before. He has managed his body very well and looks tall, handsome, and noble. He held Zhao Qingsu in his left hand and Ruyi in his right hand. Although Zhao Qingsu has given birth to two children, she looks no different from before. This is what shocked the media the most. Is this really the mother of two children? It seems impossible to tell. Who can maintain such good health after giving birth to two children? I have followed her social media accounts before, and I can see from them that she is in very good shape. However, I think she uses beauty filters when posting videos, so it is difficult to see the true condition of her skin. But now I know that she is in really good shape. Is this the woman who is loved? This is not a woman who is loved. This is a person who loves each other. Mr. Su and Mrs. Su are truly a myth of divine love. Seeing Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu holding hands, with each of them holding a little cutie, the media took pictures even more enthusiastically. It really is good genes. These two little cuties are amazing. It looks even more kawaii when you look at it up close tilde. I didn't lose out this time. After walking the red carpet, they went a sign on the background board. The staff only gave pens to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. But after the two of them finished signing, seeing that the two little guys were eager to try, he handed the pen to them as well. "You have to write your name." Su Yuan looked at Ruyi tenderly as she wrote the three words, Su Yaoqing, on the background wall. After walking the red carpet, there was a formal dinner. In fact, such so-called charity galas are certainly not solely for charity purposes. To put it bluntly, they are also a platform for resource exchange. Therefore, as soon as Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu sat down with the two little ones, people came to visit them one after another. "Boss Su, I didn't expect you to come this time. What a coincidence." "Mr. Su, you and your wife are still the same." "Let me introduce myself, Mr. Su. I am the chairman of Lanchi Group." A group of people who had met Su Yuan before or had not met him before came together in front of Su Yuan and tried to get close to him in various ways. Su Yuan responded with a few words indifferently. "Mr. Su, every time you do something, it's always a big hit. From the smart home robot 3 years ago to the black technology that revolutionized the mobile phone industry the year before last and last year, to this year's blood cancer drug. Each one is more outrageous than the last. Speaking of this special medicine, you must have invested a lot of money to develop it, right? Our company also has a lot of experience in the research of this special medicine." The topics of conversation went around and around. Whether it was compliments or flattery, all the conversations were eventually led to the special medicine. Of course, Su Yuan understood what they meant. With such a big piece of cake, everyone would definitely want to take a bite. After all, this cake is so tempting. But Su Yuan glanced at the people who were thinking about something. "Today is a charity party, so let's not talk about the special medicine. Let's talk about everyone's ideas about charity." "Ah, that's right. This is a charity party. We are all here to do charity like President Su, so we must talk about charity." Soon someone followed Su Yuan's wishes and changed the subject. Although many people were reluctant, seeing that Su Yuan also meant the same thing, they had no choice but to publish their views on charity. "I think charity requires generosity. We can be stingy with ourselves, with suppliers, and with cost control, but we cannot be stingy at all when it comes to charity." I agree with what Mr. Zhang said. People outside say that the richer we are, the more stingy we become. But have they ever seen us being generous? Not long ago, I donated 10 million to build a school, but I didn't publicize it, so few people knew about it. Compared with Mr. Su, your little money is really not worth mentioning, right? During the last flood, Mr. Su donated 1 billion yuan, and Mrs. Su also donated 200 million yuan. After going around in circles, okay, the flattery begins again. Otherwise, Su Yuan would find it increasingly boring to be with these people. After listening to the conversation between the two people, he smiled and said, "It's not a lot of money, so let's not talk about it. Look, when it comes to being upright and noble, it has to be our President Su." Chapter 370, Drinking Too Much Alcohol Will Cause Tooth Decay. "Uncle, you guys are so sweet." It was probably because some people complimented them too much, causing Ping'an and Ruyi to almost unable to bear it and couldn't help but speak. although Ruyi really had no ill intentions and just felt that everyone's attitude was too enthusiastic. The scene was still very awkward for a while. That's right, the uncles drank so much wine, the wine is sweet, so of course their mouths are sweet too. Ping-En quickly picked up Ruyi's words and then looked at Su Yuan eagerly. Dad, can you give me some wine too? I really want to drink it. Can I just try a little bit? If there was anything the two little guys were curious about drinks, the thing they were most curious about was wine. But the adults in the family didn't let them drink. Not only did they refuse openly, but they also secretly locked all the wine in the wine cabinet and hid the key so that the two of them couldn't find the place even if they wanted to drink secretly. Since he couldn't drink secretly, he had to find a way to do it openly. You won't be rejected in such a public place, right? No. Su Yuan refused without hesitation and patted his head. What's so good about wine? Besides, don't you already know that wine is sweet? But knowing is one thing, drinking is another. Ping-En looked at Su Yuan pitifully. I won't drink a lot, just let us drink a little bit. After saying that, he made a cute expression towards the adults around him. The little guy has big eyes and looks so aggrieved and cute that it can melt your heart. After seeing this scene, many people began to plead for mercy. Drinking should be taught from a young age. If children want a drink, let them have a taste. Yes, just dip the chopsticks in a little and let them taste it. Just don't get drunk, kid tilde tilde. Most of the people present are men over 40 years old, and they don't really take children drinking alcohol seriously. Since the children are curious, let them have a taste. But Su Yuan was very serious about this issue. It's no use pretending to be pitiful. I'll let you drink after you become an adult. After saying that, he patted Ping-En on the head. Seeing his serious expression, everyone present was too embarrassed to persuade him, and instead changed their attitude to persuade Ping-En. Children should listen to their father. Listen to your father about drinking and drink when you grow up. Wine is sweet and drinking too much will cause tooth decay. Our children don't drink alcohol. I had originally wanted everyone to persuade him to keep my father safe, but I didn't expect that everyone would become fence-sitters in the blink of an eye and come to persuade me instead. I suddenly became angry. Humph, you are all fence-sitters. After the dinner, it's time for the highlight of tonight's charity gala, the charity auction. Everyone also moved to the auction hall. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our sensational charity auction tonight. I am Lin Zhao, registered auctioneer number 88,995,565. The auctioneer wearing a red cheongsam walked onto the stage and quickly brought the first item of this charity auction, a red coral bracelet with a century-old history. The items for auction this time were basically donated by people from all walks of life, so the items are not valuable. It's just a token of appreciation. The reserve price of the coral bracelet is 50,000, 51,000, 52,000, 53,000. To put it bluntly, such an auction is just a gimmick. The value of the item is not important. What matters is who buys it and how much money is donated. Anyway, those who are invited to participate in this charity auction are either rich or noble, and this little money is just a piece of cake for them. Just spending the money for a few meals to buy some things, and then getting the reputation of being a charitable person is a very cost-effective thing for them. So there are quite a lot of people bidding. Mom, this bracelet is so pretty. The two little ones in the audience sat between Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, and were also at the auction. When Ruyi saw the coral bracelet on auction, her eyes lit up immediately. This bracelet will definitely look good on my mother. You just like these fancy things. Ping-En was somewhat disdainful of Ruyi's words. You are a big kid now. I hope you can be more mature and stop being so unrealistic every day. Humph, I already have my own little stash of money. Ruyi counted on her fingers for a while. I will use my money to buy jewelry for my mother first. After saying that, they immediately began to hold up signs enthusiastically. Forehead. The auctioneer on the stage quickly noticed Ruyi's actions. It was the first time that a child came to hold up the auction sign. This made him a little suspicious whether it was a child's prank, so he looked at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu to inquire. The two of them nodded calmly. After getting the approval of Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, the auctioneer continued to bid. The kid in number 9 bids 69,000. So it was them. The two little ones are not only very popular on the internet, but also known by everyone in the circle. As soon as we heard the kids' bids, we basically knew they were talking about the two little ones. Isn't it a bad idea to let such young children attend the auction? They must be bidding on behalf of their parents, of course. Oh, so that's how it is. You're right. After receiving this explanation, Everyone became accustomed to this phenomenon. After all, this auction was just a simple charity auction. There aren't many truly valuable things at an auction. The main purpose is to give people a name for donating money, and you can get something in return. You feel that the money is well donated. The auction ended quickly. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu didn't bid for anything at this auction, but the two kids bid for 4 or 5 items together, which added up to more than 200,000 yuan. After the auction, there will be media interviews. With these two cute little kids present, the reporters couldn't control themselves and came up to the two little guys and started asking questions. You guys helped Mom and Dad buy so many things today. Do you think it's fun to participate in a charity auction? Help Mom and Dad take pictures. Rui tilted her head and thought for a moment. The bracelet and the vase I took were not taken for my parents. I used the money in my own piggy bank to take them as gifts for my parents. The bracelet is for my mother, and the vase is for my father to put in his study. Chapter 371, Dad's Little Cotton Padded Jacket. Your own little treasury. You already have your own little treasury at such a young age. After hearing this, the reporters were all shocked. They didn't expect that such a young child already had his own piggy bank, and there was quite a bit of money in it. Yes, my parents helped me save the money I earned from filming and participating in variety shows in my own piggy bank. I earned the money, so of course I have the right to use it. Rui smiled sweetly. I will use this money to buy gifts for my parents every year. Fuck, I'm so jealous. My child is so young and already has his own little piggy bank, but I still owe Huabei. I'm already in 6th grade, and my mom still wants to take my New Year's money and give it to me for safekeeping. How can others have their own little treasury when they're only in kindergarten? Isn't this a bit too much of a pampering for the child? After the interview was posted online, netizens felt envious and jealous and could only sigh. What kind of family are you from? Don't think that the New Year's money others give you is really given to you. It's only for your parents' sake. Your parents also have to give other people's children New Year's money. After rounding it off, the New Year's money is still given to you by your parents. You are just giving it back. But other people's children are different. The money in their piggy banks is all earned by themselves, okay? It seems to make sense, but I'm really envious. After the auction was over, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu took the two little ones back home. After taking a bath, the two little ones changed into blue and white dinosaur pajamas and pink bunny pajamas, respectively. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu each held one in their arms and sat on the sofa, playing with their phones and watching TV. Rui is so cute. I wonder which boy will be lucky enough to marry such a cute girl in the future. However, when Su Yuan was sitting on the sofa playing with his mobile phone, he suddenly saw this comment. He saw that this comment had quite a lot of likes, so he silently clicked no. Really, his Rui is just a little over 3 years old and is still in kindergarten, but someone is already thinking about their Rui. But time flies so fast. It seems like the two little ones were just born yesterday and became the nation's children. He was a little sad. Silently holding Rui on his knees, Su Yuan pinched her little face, looked into her beautiful and lively eyes like black grapes and said, Rui, did you have fun today? Yeah, Dad, I had a lot of fun today. Rui nodded. Why are you asking this? Since you have so much fun today, can you promise Dad one thing? Su Yuan felt it necessary to give his daughter some precautions in advance, to prevent his daughter from being deceived by others without his knowledge. Okay, Dad, what do you want me to promise you? Rui tilted her head and looked at Su Yuan strangely. Don't worry, I will promise you anything. Then read after me. Good. I swear, I will never look for a boyfriend again. In the future, I will definitely. Rui, who was following Su Yuanian, paused for a moment and suddenly climbed down from him. No, I still need to find a boyfriend in the future. Su Yuan felt a little depressed. How could a child so young already be thinking about finding a boyfriend? What will happen when he grows up? He thought for a moment and then patiently said, Don't you think it would be nice to live with your parents when you grow up? Your parents will love and care for you forever. But if I don't find a boyfriend when I grow up, I'll be like Han's mom. Rui picked her ears and said, Some time ago, when she didn't have a boyfriend, she would keep talking about boyfriend every day, every time she played with me. I got calluses on my ears from listening to her. I don't want to be like her in the future. Your godmother might be mad at you to death when she hears this. Su Yuan suddenly laughed and praised her, but well done. Dad, you think so too, right? Of course. Seeing Zhao Qingsu's eyes sweeping over him, Su Yuan coughed. Dad means that your godmother Han has found a boyfriend, right? Maybe she will give birth to a brother or sister for you in the future, so you will have brothers and sisters to play with. Then why don't you and Mom give us another brother or sister? Rui opened her eyes wide and looked at him in confusion. Dad, are you too old to have children? How could your father be unable to have children at such a young age? It's because I'm too busy with work, so I don't have time. The main reason is that I feel that taking care of children is too tiring. It is not easy to raise two such sensible children. I would be exhausted to death if I had another one. If you don't have time at work, then let your mother give birth. Ping-an also quickly answered and looked at Zhao Qingsu. Mom, didn't Dad think that the birthday gift you gave him last time was too perfunctory? I've already thought about it for you. Next time you can secretly give him a brother or sister. He will definitely be very happy. Su Yuan pinched Ping-an's cheek in annoyance. You are so evil at such a young age. I don't know who you inherited it from. But I have good intentions. Ping-an touched his cheek, feeling very aggrieved. Ding-donged. I'll go open the door. Seeing that Su Yuan was still going to abuse him, Ping-an ran to the door and opened it as soon as he heard the doorbell ring. Standing at the door were Su Yuan's parents, holding a bunch of snacks in their hands. When they saw Ping-an coming to open the door, they picked him up and said, Little baby tilde, long time no see. Hello, Grandpa and Grandma. Ping-an kissed Su Yuan's parents on the face and called out crisply, making the old couple smile. Su Yuan didn't expect them to come over at this time. He was stunned for a moment. Mom and Dad, don't you usually have various rehearsals at this time in the evening? Why are you here at this time today? Although the choir that Su Yuan's parents joined was a senior citizen choir, it was quite formal. Externally, they had to participate in charity performances at various festivals and various competitions. Internally, when they had nothing to do, they had to train some new members and teach them vocal knowledge and so on. In short, they were very busy. Chapter 372, Yes, we are a family. There's nothing good about the choir. It was interesting at first, but I got tired of it after a while. Su Yuan's father had just said this when he was interrupted by Su Yuan's mother. She elbowed him hard and then continued as if nothing had happened. We saw your interview on TV this afternoon. I didn't expect that Ping-an and Rui have grown up so fast. We as grandparents really don't worry about them at all. We miss them after not seeing them for so long, so we won't go to the choir to see you today. There are a lot of people in the choir anyway, so there's no need for us. It would be fine if they didn't explain, but looking at the actions between the two of them, it seems like there's something fishy going on. Su Yuan was a little suspicious. Mom and Dad, just tell me if you have anything to say. There's no need to lie to me about this. If you say it's okay, then it's okay. Why are you so cunning, kid? Su Yuan's mother rolled her eyes at Su Yuan without saying anything, then stretched out her arms to hug Rui. Come here, baby. You miss Grandma so much. Come here and give Grandma a hug. Grandmothers. Rui jumped up and hooked her arms around Su Yuan's mother's neck, then gave her a loud kiss on the face. Rui misses Grandma so much. Grandma finally came to see Rui tilde. Grandma will come to see you every day from now on. Su Yuan's mother touched her head, her heart almost melted by her calling her Grandma. Grandma will have plenty of time in the future anyway, so Grandma really won't sing anymore. Rui thinks Grandma sings the best tilde. If Rui thinks Grandma sings well, Grandma will sing for Rui in the future tilde. Su Yuan's mother pinched Rui's nose and asked, Do you think this is a good idea? Well, but the teacher said that good things must be shared with everyone, and doesn't singing require standing on the stage? Rui thought for a moment and asked with her head tilted, You don't have to stand on the stage to sing. Su Yuan's mother's eyes darkened, and it was obvious that she didn't want to continue talking about this topic, so she distributed the snacks she brought to the two little ones. These are all snacks I brought for you. Take a look and see if there is anything you like. Oh yes, tilde. Because after 9 o'clock in the evening, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu would not allow Ping-an and Rui to eat snacks. So after getting the snacks, although they cheered, they still timidly asked Su Yuan for his opinion. Dad, can I have a few fries? Just eat half a bag and not a single bite. Okay, then go over there and eat some fries. Su Yuan casually took out a pack and shared it with them. But each of you can only eat half a pack, don't eat too much. Thank you, Dad. Seeing Su Yuan share the French fries with them, the two little guys happily took the French fries and went to eat them nearby. Su Yuan, on the other hand, sat on the sofa with his arms crossed, looking at his parents. Tell me about your choir. Didn't we tell you that nothing was going on with the choir? Su Yuan's mother didn't expect Su Yuan to ask this question suddenly and seemed a little uncomfortable. Are you interrogating your parents? Mom and Dad, Su Yuan really had no idea what to do about his parents. I just want to know the truth. How did it become an interrogation of you? Yes, Mom and Dad, we are a family. Is there anything you can't tell us? Zhao Qingsu also looked at the two of them helplessly. She sat down next to Su Yuan's mother like a spoiled child, took her arm and shook it. Mom, just tell us if you have anything to say. We are really curious. What's there to be curious about? Mom, it's boring for you to talk like that tilde. Okay. Su Yuan's mother, who was helpless with Zhao Qingsu's coquettishness, smiled helplessly. Actually, it's nothing. It's just that we don't have so many things to do now. Not long after Su Yuan's parents arrived in Magic City, they joined a choir organized by the local university. When the two of them first joined the choir was very small. It was formed spontaneously by some elderly people from the neighborhood who loved singing. There were no activities on weekdays. Everyone was about the same age and liked to sing revolutionary songs, so they usually got together on weekends to rehearse in an empty classroom at the university, or to sing in places like nursing homes during festivals. I was having a pretty happy time, but in the past 2 years, as the choir has become more famous, more and more people have joined the choir. There is a saying that goes, there are all kinds of birds in a big forest. When the choir was small, everyone got along very harmoniously and were as close to each other as friends. But now, as the choir has grown in size, many positions have been added for easier management, because there were not many people in the initial establishment of this choir, and as time went by they gradually withdrew from the choir due to various problems. So now that this senior choir has developed to the point where Su Yuan's parents have become veterans. Because everyone likes Su Yuan's parents, and they are both very capable, so with everyone's unanimous recommendation, one of them became the leader of the choir and the other became the deputy leader of the choir. Under their leadership, the choir has continued to grow in the past 2 years and has become one of the largest choirs in the vicinity. Not only do they usually hold many charity performances, but they also occasionally organize activities for the elderly such as picnics. The business has even expanded to blind dates. This is also the reason why Su Yuan's parents are so busy. When they were young, they were constantly running around for a living. When they are old, they don't have to worry about their son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughters, so they devote all their efforts to this senior choir. But something went wrong recently. Due to various personnel changes in the senior choir, a senior choir next door wanted to merge with their choir. Su Yuan's parents thought that if it was a merger, it would be more lively with more people, and it wouldn't be a big problem. But the problem arose after this merger. Originally, the choir that Su Yuan's parents were in was relatively large, and it had been agreed before that if the two choirs merged, the leader of the other choir could come over and serve as deputy leader here. But who knew that as soon as the choirs merged, the leader of the other choir suddenly changed his attitude. He repeatedly suggested that Su Yuan's parents' professional skills were not high enough, and they were not suitable to be group leaders, and that they should be replaced. Chapter 373, A Few Words. At the beginning, the members of the choir were biased towards Su Yuan's parents, but no one knew what the parachuted-in deputy director did behind the scenes. When they voted 2 days ago, most people actually voted for him. Although Su Yuan's parents are still serving in the senior choir, they have been marginalized without realizing it. The two of them are not strong-willed people, and they feel that it doesn't matter if they are marginalized, as long as the choir develops well. But who knew that they received a notice yesterday that from now on, except for charity performances, the choir would not be required to go there on other occasions. It is obvious that they want to drive them out directly. In addition to being sad, the two were more disappointed, so they just stopped going to the choir. This is too much. Su Yuan was very calm after hearing this, but Zhao Qingsu was not happy. Mom and Dad, why did you listen to them? You are the ones who have contributed the most in the choir. Why do you want to quit? I think you should compete with them. Otherwise, wouldn't such a good choir be given to them for nothing? There's nothing to argue about. Su Yuan's mother sighed. It's not a big deal anyway. The choir is just a hobby for us. We have already spent too much time on this hobby. Now this situation just allows us to have some free time to take care of our grandson more. Yes, there is nothing to argue about. Su Yuan nodded, agreeing with Su Yuan's mother's opinion. But his words made Zhao Qingsu push him in anger. He continued to explain with a smile. I think the reason why the previous leader wanted to merge with your choir was probably because he liked your venue. You should have expected this to happen. That's about right. The membership fee of the senior choir is very cheap, and each person only needs to pay 100 yuan to join. But this $100 needs to be spent on transportation, food, and venue, and there is little money left after the platform is removed. Su Yuan's parents were not short of money, so after he became the leader of the choir, they subsidized the rest of the money from the membership fees themselves. Because the winters in Shanghai are very cold and the summers are very hot, the two of them rented a large venue for activities. It was equipped with air conditioning and floor heating, so it is warm in the winter and cool in the summer. However, the rent for that place is more than 100,000 yuan a year, which is not cheap at all. Neither of them told the choir about this matter. They just said that a kind-hearted person sponsored the venue because he saw that the choir was doing a good job. Mom and Dad, if you want to continue the choir, why don't you find a new place to start? Su Yuan smiled and said, "It just so happens that I have a villa near the senior university. I will have it renovated tomorrow and then." "Isn't this a bit bad?" "What's wrong with that? The villa is just sitting there anyway, so why not use it as a practice area for you guys?" After the matter of the senior choir was confirmed, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had nothing to do anyway, so after sending the two kids to school the next day, they accompanied Su Yuan's parents to the venue of the senior choir. "Hey, whose car is that downstairs?" Su Yuan bought the Cullinan for traveling. Usually, Su Yuan's father would drive it when he was in a hurry. In order to exercise, they usually rode bicycles or took the bus when they went to the senior choir. Therefore, it was the first time for the choir members to see these two Cullinans. They were rehearsing and were stunned for a moment when they saw the car at the door, but they didn't care too much about it, until I saw Su Yuan's parents getting out of the car. "Lao Su, what are you two doing?" When the members of the choir saw the two people, their jaws dropped in surprise. The current group leader was a little displeased when he saw the two of them coming over. "Didn't I tell you two that you don't have to come during the rehearsal? Why did you come here anyway? I'm not trying to exclude you. I just want you to have more rest. You two will still be required to perform in next month's performance." "Let's just forget it." Seeing the current group leader's expression, Su Yuan's parents didn't want to say much and directly explained their purpose of coming this time. "We too came here this time to withdraw from the group." "Oh my, you two have been in this choir for almost 3 years. Why do you suddenly want to quit?" Hearing that the two were going to quit the choir leader's eyes flashed with surprise. But then he pretended to be enthusiastic and tried to keep them. "You are the core of our choir, the soul of our choir. Now our choir can do without anyone but you two, the backbone. You should think about this matter carefully when you go back, and don't make such a decision on impulse, or you will regret it later." "No regrets, no regrets." Su Yuan's father waved his hand and said, "Now you can help me with the formalities. Even if I am willing to complete the formalities for you, the people in the choir won't agree." The choir leader looked at the other choir members. "Don't you agree?" "Yes, Lao Su, you have been in our choir for so many years, and everyone is most familiar with you. It's hard for us to adapt to your sudden departure. Why are you two going back? Didn't you say that your son and daughter-in-law are very worry-free and don't need you to take care of them at all?" Lao Su, think about it again. A group of people tried to keep him for a long time, but Su Yuan's parents were still very persistent. Finally, seeing that the atmosphere was set and that he had done enough superficial work, the choir leader nodded hypocritically and said, "Alas, your departure is really the biggest loss for our choir. But the choir is just an entertainment, and the focus should still be on life. If you really want to leave, I won't stop you, but remember to come back often in the future." Su Yuan's father didn't say anything, but silently followed the choir leader to go through the formalities. Perhaps because the choir leader was well prepared, the entire procedure only took 3 minutes. After completing the formalities, the leader of the choir walked out with Su Yuan's parents, saying things like, "What a pity," all the time. But Su Yuan's parents were too lazy to listen. Su Yuan's father walked to the choir's podium and said, "We are officially leaving the choir from today. My son is waiting for me outside, so I won't say much to you. I'll just say a few words casually." Chapter 374, What is a Fence Sitter? Everyone knows that the reason I joined the choir was purely for fun. We all get together to sing and chat. If you are happy, I am happy too. But with the changes in the choir this year, the unity of the previous choir has also changed. Su Yuan's father said with a sigh, "So I choose to quit now." "Lao Su, why are you two doing this?" When the people below who knew Su Yuan's father heard him say this, their faces looked a little confused. In fact, the reason why they voted for the current leader was that they had no choice. After all, he used to be a cadre, and now his son is also in the system, and he lives in this district. Every family has its own problems. We all live here, and no one can guarantee that we won't have to ask for help from others in the future. Now that I have completed all the formalities, please stop saying such things. If it were someone else, they would probably be unhappy, but when it came to Su Yuan's father, he changed the subject. Although I have withdrawn from our choir, it does not mean that I will never participate in the choir again. My son has chosen a new venue for me, and I plan to start a small choir again. We will still have the opportunity to meet in the future. You are welcome to come here often to learn and communicate. Ray formed a choir. Su Yuan's father's words confused everyone. The reason for quitting the choir was to form a new choir. Lao Su, you are doing something big without making any noise. Why don't we do it together? Why do you want to set up a new choir without making any noise? It's so hard to find a place for a choir now. Although none of the people who can join the senior citizen choir say that their families are short of money. They all have children who have decent jobs and they themselves have pensions. And they join the choir because they have nothing to do. Although they are not short of money, they certainly cannot have so much money that they have no place to spend it. It is no problem to ask them to pay a membership fee of 1 or 200 yuan to join the choir, but they will not pay more than that. After all, no one's money comes from the wind, right? Don't worry about the venue, I've already found it. Su Yuan's father directly picked up the pen beside him and wrote the address of the new choir on the whiteboard. Number 23 Longjing Garden. Longjing Garden, isn't that a villa area? However, as soon as Su Yuan's father showed the address, the people below were immediately shocked. Longjing Garden is definitely a large luxury villa area. The villas there cost at least 1 billion yuan each. Even if it's for rent, it's in good condition, it's basically impossible to rent it out. Old Su, you are not kidding, right? Villa area. Your son's villa. Everyone was quite confused at first, because although Su Yuan's father smiled every day, and his face was full of joy when he talked about his son and daughter-in-law, it seemed that he had a very good relationship with his son and daughter-in-law. When everyone was chatting, he said without hesitation that his son is living a good life now, and although he has grandchildren, he doesn't need them to worry about him at all. But they just thought that his son and daughter-in-law were sensible, but they didn't expect them to be so rich. Not only can he afford a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but he can also afford a big villa. Yes, my son's villa has been vacant for several years. I just happened to need a place to host a choir, so I chose it. However, I can't go there directly at the moment. My son said he wanted to renovate it and get some professional audio equipment. After Su Yuan's father finished speaking, he waved his hand and prepared to leave. I have almost said what I wanted to say now. I hope everyone understands what I mean. I will not delay your rehearsal here. If you are free in the future, you can come to my place and do a little work. We can still chat. No one expected things to turn out like this. Everyone was a little agitated, and many people held Su Yuan's parents' hands. Old Su, I've known you for so long, I really don't want to leave you. If you start a new choir, then I'll join your choir. Yeah, when you were the leader of the choir, I was willing to stay here. Now that you are no longer the leader, it is boring for me to stay here. I might as well go with you. Yes, it doesn't matter where we stay, I'll go with you. Although the current situation of the choir is very complicated, and most people support the current leader, there are still some people who are with Su Yuan's father. They had failed to vote for Su Yuan's father before, and now that they saw that Su Yuan's father had started a new choir, they planned to follow him directly. Su Yuan's father certainly welcomes you. If you want to join my choir, that's fine too. Just let me know on WeChat when the time comes. Then I'll go with you now. Me too. I'm going to go through the formalities of withdrawing from the choir first. Seeing that Su Yuan's father welcomed them, a group of people immediately wanted to follow. Cough, cough, cough. The current choir leader coughed and his face turned very ugly. Our choir is a public welfare choir anyway and doesn't make any money. It doesn't matter where you go. If you want to leave, I will go and handle the formalities for you now. But there is one thing I want to make clear to you in advance. In order to facilitate the management of the choir, if you quit the choir today, it will be difficult for you to come back in the future. Isn't it just a villa? Whether it's real or not is still unclear. I think you're lucky to be able to stay here, so don't quit. What does it mean to be a fence-sitter? I finally got to see it today. Those who supported the current choir leader also joined in the sarcastic remarks, and everyone suddenly started arguing. Finally, the current choir leader saw that the people who were leaving were very determined, so he looked at them solemnly. Everyone knows that it is not easy to make a choir successful. The reason why our choir has become so big now is that it has gone through a long period of accumulation. The most important thing is that our choir has a good venue. If you leave, you may not be able to find such a good venue. Now the choir venue is provided to them free of charge by kind-hearted people. Before, the place where they performed was just an empty classroom at the university. Let's go, we have to leave anyway. Although the current choir leader had said this, the few people who wanted to leave with Su Yuan's father still nodded firmly. Let's go and handle the formalities now. Chapter 375, 5,000 yuan, not a dime less. Go, take them to complete the formalities. After seeing this situation, the current choir leader did not hesitate to have someone take them to go through the formalities. After a few people left, the current choir leader looked at Su Yuan's father and said with a fake smile, "I didn't expect you to be so well hidden. You came here to handle a set of formalities and took away several people from my choir. I didn't expect them to leave. They were originally in my choir." Facing the current choir leader, Su Yuan's father looked indifferent, as if he remembered something. "Oh, by the way, there is something I may have forgotten to tell you." "What is it?" "I don't plan to renew the lease of this choir's venue next month, so by the end of this month your choir will have to find a new place to rehearse. I'm very sorry for the trouble I've caused you." Su Yuan's father's words were quite polite, but the current choir leader's face changed immediately when he heard it. "What do you mean by that? Wasn't the choir's venue donated to us for free by a kind person?" "Can't I be that kind person?" Su Yuan's father took out the contract from his bag and put it on the table. Everyone was stunned. "It's like this. Last winter I saw that everyone was not in good health and had to brave the cold wind and rehearse in the icy classroom. I felt a little bit sorry, so I rented this place for free for everyone to use. I was afraid that everyone would feel burdened, so I didn't tell everyone that I rented this place. I said that a kind person gave it to us for free. I'm really sorry that I lied to everyone about this matter. I originally wanted to continue renting this place, but I didn't expect such a big change to happen in the middle, so it looks like I can't continue to renew the lease next. Of course, if you like this place very much and have feelings for it, I can also give you the landlord's contact information, and you can negotiate the renewal of the lease with the landlord. The monthly rent is not expensive, 100,000 yuan. After Su Yuan's father finished saying this, it took almost half a minute for everyone to digest the news he had said. The current choir leader was even more stunned. He never expected that the choir's venue was actually rented privately by Su Yuan's father. To put it bluntly, the reason why he wanted to merge with this choir in the first place was simply because he had his eyes on this venue. So he deliberately created an internal coup, which took him a lot of effort. But I didn't expect that it would be all in vain in the end. If the contract expires next month, then the task of finding a venue for nearly 100 choirs will fall on him. Are you serious? The current group leader looked at Su Yuan's father in disbelief. It's obviously you who rented this place for 100,000 yuan a month. Why did you tell others that this was lent to us for free by a kind person? How can there be such people in the world? I have already explained the reasons before, so I won't go into details here. Su Yuan's father waved his hand and said, "My son is still waiting for me at the door. I have to go first." After saying that, he took Su Yuan's mother's hand and was about to leave, but he was surrounded by excited choir members. The group of people who came with the current leader stood aside with grim expressions and did not speak. The group of people who surrounded him were the ones who used to have a good relationship with Su Yuan's father, but later voted for the current leader. They looked at Su Yuan's father awkwardly and smiled. "Old Su, I didn't expect you to have done so many things for our choir silently. Why didn't you tell us about such a big thing? If we had known that you had done so much, we would never have voted for anyone else. Yes, you have contributed both money and effort to the development of our choir over the years. It really makes us ashamed. Anyone in this choir can leave except you. If you leave, we will all leave with you. There is no point in staying in the choir without you." They all calculated it very clearly. If there was no venue, not only would the choir suffer in the future, but it would also soon become a mess and disband. It would be more appropriate to hold on to Su Yuan's father's thighs at this moment. It doesn't matter where you are, I still say the same thing. If you want to join the choir I founded, just let me know on WeChat. Su Yuan's father did not reject them and gave a promise lightly. Only then did they warmly send Su Yuan's parents to the door. "Mom and Dad, get in the car." At the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had already been waiting for them. As soon as they saw Su Yuan's parents coming out, they helped them get into the car. It's Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu are both very popular among the people. Most people know them when they go out, even the people in the choir are no exception. However, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu ignored them. After helping Su Yuan's parents into the car, they left. Isn't this old Su too low-key? Although he used to say his son was excellent every day, he never said his son's name was Su Yuan. When a group of elderly people get together to chat, they will inevitably talk about their children. At that time, Su Yuan's parents also said that their son was very capable. Not only did he get into college and start his own company, he also found a beautiful wife and gave birth to a pair of twins, a boy and a girl. But they didn't think so much at the time. Who knew that the company they were talking about was Lumi Company? That person didn't lie to you. After everyone came to their senses, they found that what Su Yuan's parents said was indeed true. Their son was excellent, their daughter-in-law was beautiful, their son had a company, and they also gave birth to a pair of beautiful twins. Everything matched perfectly, except that he didn't say his son's name was Su Yuan. What do you mean, old man? Didn't you say you wanted to form a small choir? Why did you recruit so many people all of a sudden? While they were sighing, Su Yuan's mother looked at Su Yuan's father in dissatisfaction and complained, "These people are not good people. They have seen you work hard for the choir over the years, but they didn't vote for you. Now you are bringing them to a new choir. It's too boring. Don't tell me I'm going to recruit them all." Su Yuan's father looked at his phone with a smile. "I just asked those who want to join our choir to tell me on WeChat, but I didn't say that they must join. If you want to join the choir, you have to pay a membership fee of 5,000 yuan. Don't even think about paying less." Chapter 376, Who Can Bear This? In the past, the choir membership fee was just a symbolic 1 or 200 yuan. After all, everyone got together just to have company, and there was not much expense on a daily basis. People of their generation were very frugal, so of course they could not pay too much in membership fees. The 5,000 yuan membership fee is enough to scare them off. You old man still have a solution. Su Yuan's mother gave a thumbs up to Su Yuan's father's approach and said, "Let's do as you say." That is, after solving this problem, they happened to have nothing to do that day. So everyone went to the kindergarten to pick up the two little ones after school. However, the two little ones did not leave smoothly, and Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, and Su Yuan's parents were invited into the kindergarten's office. What happened? This was the first time that teacher Yu Yu invited them into the office to talk to them seriously, which made Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu very worried. Teacher Yu Yu also looked helpless. "You can talk to the Chinese and math teachers yourself. They asked me to call you over." Chinese and mathematics. If I remember correctly, our children are quite good at these two subjects. The two little ones are just playing in kindergarten now, and homework is a piece of cake for them. Why would the Chinese and math teachers invite them over? They became even more confused. Zhao Qingsu thought that she hadn't done a live broadcast for a long time, and this was the first time that a parent was invited, so she did a live broadcast while waiting in the office. "Zuer, you haven't done a live broadcast for so long that we thought you had forgotten us tilde. Life is so good that you won't do a live broadcast, right? What is this place? Why does it look more like an office?" When they saw her live broadcast room was opened, a lot of people suddenly flocked in. Most of them were old fans. Zhao Qingsu looked at the camera apologetically. "I'm really sorry, because I'm too busy taking care of the kids so I don't have time to do a live broadcast." Well, actually taking care of our kids is not busy at all. I'm just too lazy so I didn't do a live broadcast. But today will be a very special live broadcast. As you can see, I am not at home or in any public place, but in the office of my child's teacher. I was supposed to pick up the kids from school today with my grandparents, but I was called into the office. This is the first time I've been called into the office, and I felt a little nervous. When people heard what Zhao Qingsu said, they were filled with surprise. Will children as cute as these two also be called parents? I thought only our children would be called parents. It's not a big deal to be called to the kindergarten. I'm a frequent visitor to the office now. The kindergarten teachers tend to make a fuss over trivial matters. If the child is picky about food, the child doesn't eat. The child doesn't sleep at noon. The kindergarten teachers will call the parents to the office to discuss these issues individually. I never thought I'd see two little ones being called their parents in my lifetime. Everyone is obviously very interested in the fact that the two little ones were called their parents. After all, the two little ones are recognized as good kids, and everyone dreams of having the two little ones. After chatting with the people on the barrage for a while, Zhao Qingsu felt a little relieved. The Chinese teacher of the two children had finished her work and came to the office in a hurry. "You are the parents of the two children, right? You can just call me Teacher Zhao. I am the teacher who teaches your children Chinese." "Hello, Mr. Zhao. Our child is too young to understand things. I'm afraid we've caused you trouble. Su Yuan walked forward with a smile, looked at teacher Zhao, and asked, "Did you call me here specially this time because our children are not studying well? Or are they not paying attention in class or something like that? If that's the problem, don't worry, I will educate them when I go back." In fact, Su Yuan doesn't really care about this kind of problem. Anyway, the two little ones will be able to do it whether they listen in class or not. He had checked his 2 hours of Chinese homework before and found it was quite good. That's not the problem. Teacher Zhao pulled out a Chinese test paper from the table and placed it on the table. His face looked a little strange, as if he didn't know how to start. "I want to talk to you about the questions in this midterm exam. Did our children not do well in the exam? But I remember that both of our children got full marks in Chinese in the midterm exam. Kindergarten exams are basically fill-in-the-blank and multiple-choice questions. And there are no essays, so as long as you are a little careful, anyone can easily get full marks. Yes, I know that both of your children got full marks in all the exams, but the problem is that other people's children didn't get full marks." Su Yuan was stunned for a moment. What does the fact that other children didn't get full marks have to do with our children? Did they disturb other children by making small movements in class and thus affecting their grades? No. The Chinese teacher shook her head and said, "It was a self-study class. They talked about my Chinese midterm test paper. When it comes to this matter, the Chinese teacher is a little overwhelmed. Originally, the course content for these children was not much, and she had to explain it slowly every time to barely cover the class hours. After each exam, she should have to take out 2 classes to teach the previous test papers. But the problem is that, when she went to explain the test paper today, she heard the kids below say that she had already explained this test paper. But she never talked about this midterm exam at all. Later, when she asked carefully, she found out that Ping'an and Ruyi had explained the test paper during the study class. What's more, it is explained clearly and distinctly, and all the knowledge points are highlighted. What the hell? As a result, she, a Chinese teacher, had to awkwardly lead the children in singing songs for 2 classes. Who can stand this? As soon as the Chinese teacher finished speaking, the math teacher at the door also walked in. The two of them had already discussed the matter of the test paper being explained. So when she saw Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, the math teacher also started complaining. Yes, they not only explained the Chinese test paper, but also my math test paper. The key point is that he is tone deaf and can't teach the children to sing. And in the end, he can only play the handkerchief game with them for a whole class. I didn't expect that the 2 teachers would complain about such a problem. Even Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were a little dumbfounded. Chapter 377. A red flower becomes redder if it is close to a red flower. A black flower becomes blacker if it is close. That teacher, this was indeed something our child did wrong. I would like to sincerely apologize to you here. Zhao Qingsu stood up awkwardly and apologized to the teachers. I will talk to them about this matter when I go back and ask them not to take the teachers' jobs next time. The teachers' work is also very hard. Although I have received an apology, why does this apology seem more and more wrong the more I listen to it? I'm dying of laughter. He actually talked about the math and Chinese papers during class. What the hell? If I had such an awesome student, I would just become a teacher. I would just play with my phone and let them talk. This way I would get paid and not have to teach. It would be so great. These 2 little ones are worthy of being called little ones. What they do will never disappoint us. Most people on the barrage were gloating after seeing this situation. Zhao Qingsu was so embarrassed that she turned off the live broadcast. However, this incident still made it to the hot news. On the way home, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu helplessly taught the 2 kids a lesson. If the teacher asked you to study in the class, you should listen to the teacher and study in the class. Why do you have to explain the test paper in the class? Because self-study classes are boring. And didn't you say that we should be helpful? We thought that it was very hard for the teacher to teach us, so we helped the teacher to teach the class in advance so that the teacher could have a rest. Yes, Mom, are we doing this wrong? Looking at the 2 little ones' eager eyes, Zhao Qingsu didn't know what to say for a moment. That's the teacher's job. Teacher Sun Ran works hard to teach you, but only by teaching you can teachers get paid. Although you help the teacher with the class, it will cause trouble to the teacher. Anyway, don't do this next time. Su Yuan knocked on the heads of the 2 little ones. I think our precious grandchildren are smart. What's there to teach them about this kind of thing? The worst that can happen is that we can just tell them not to do it next time. Su Yuan's mother picked up the 2 little ones, but she didn't think it was a big deal. Su Yuan's father also nodded in agreement. If a child is a little naughty, he will have a promising future when he grows up. You were very naughty when you were a child, and it gave us a headache. Have you forgotten that when you were in the first grade, a kid said he wanted to pee, but you didn't allow him to raise his hand to tell the teacher and forced him to pee on the bench? Su Yuan coughed and said, "Dad, please don't expose my shortcomings here." What? Although the two little ones gradually became naughty, Su Yuan's parents liked them more. Seeing that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were having a headache taking care of the children, they simply took them to the choir on weekends. The reason why we didn't take the two little ones to the choir before was because the members of the previous choir were too complicated, and no one would take their own children to the choir. But the nature of the choir is different now. The choir he is organizing now consists of people with trustworthy character, and most of them have grandchildren of similar age. Anyway, the villa is big enough and safe, so Su Yuan's father suggested bringing his grandchildren over to play together. No one had any objections, so on weekends, everyone brought their children there. The two little ones are so famous now. They either appear on TV or on the internet. Every time they appear, they can become a hot topic and attract a lot of attention. So now they have almost become national level. Even the people in Su Yuan's father's choir knew them. This time, knowing that Su Yuan's father had brought the two little ones over, they not only wanted to see the two little ones with their own eyes, but also wanted their children to have some contact with the two little ones. As the older generation says, birds of a feather flock together. Let your children play more with smart children, and your children will become smarter in the future. Sure enough, as soon as the two little ones entered the door, they received everyone's love. These two little ones are really good looking. They will definitely be handsome men and beautiful women when they grow up. I heard that you guys are already filming TV series at such a young age. Oh, little star. Facing the praise and attention of the crowd, the two little ones were not at all nervous. Hello, Grandpa and Grandma. Oh, okay. Most people's hearts melted by the two little ones' crisp calls, and they all nodded. Then he looked at Su Yuan's parents jealously. I say you two are really talented people. It's okay that you are good at singing, but your son and daughter-in-law are both so talented, and you also gave birth to such a smart grandchild. It seems that all the blessings in the world have been taken up by you two. What the elderly nowadays hope for is a successful son and a filial daughter-in-law, and the rest is for their grandchildren to be smart and cute. Su Yuan's parents have also not missed out on these four things. It's impossible for them not to be envious. But there are some things that you can't envy at all. Old Su, I know you brought your grandchildren here. I've also watched the TV series your grandchildren acted in. They really acted quite well. But let me tell you that our grandson is not bad either. He started playing the piano when he was 3 years old, and he also learned calligraphy from me for 2 years. Now his handwriting is quite good. I don't think your grandchildren can compare to him. However, just when Su Yuan's parents were being envied by everyone, Old Man Lin from the choir arrived. He is usually a very competitive person and likes to brag. He accepted that he was inferior to others, but he didn't want his grandson to be inferior to him, so as soon as he entered the door, he started bragging about how great his grandson was. However, just as he finished blowing, he saw that the grandson he was holding in his hand had disappeared. You are Su Yaoqing. The next second, a little boy ran to Rui, took out a piece of paper and a pen from somewhere, and looked at her eagerly. I like the TV series you starred in the most, and I think you are prettier than all the girls in our kindergarten. Please sign an autograph for me. Yeah, okay. Rui nodded. Just now I heard from Grandpa Lin that you were learning calligraphy from him. Are you learning regular script now? The boy nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. Yes. Okay, then I'll sign my name for you in regular script. Rui said this, lowered her head, and carefully wrote her name in neat, regular script. The little boy who got the autograph happily ran to Old Man Lin and said, Grandpa, Grandpa, I got Su Yaoqing's autograph. Old Man Lin. Chapter 378. I don't believe what you adults say. Ha ha ha, Lao Lin. Your grandson is more discerning than you are at judging people. That's right, Lao Lin. Even kids know what's good for them, and you're still talking nonsense here. Come on, Xiaolin baby. Tell me why you like Rui so much. The group of people were so amused by Old Man Lin's grandson that they all thought he was very interesting. The grandson of Old Man Lin hesitated for a moment and said, because she is pretty. At such a young age, he has already learned to read faces. At first glance, you can tell that the upper beam is not straight and the lower beam is crooked. Everyone looked at Old Man Lin meaningfully. Old Man Lin didn't mind it. Instead, he said smugly, "My grandson has good taste. He took after me at first sight. Besides, gentlemen love beautiful ladies. Why can't you allow my grandson to like pretty girls?" Okay, you're right. Old Man Lin has always been thick-skinned, and everyone has gotten used to it, so they just laugh it off. "Come on, baby, show Grandpa the autograph you just made." Old Man Lin joked, took out his reading glasses from his pocket and put them on. "If her handwriting is beautiful, Grandpa will grant your wish. You can take this signature as a token of trust and go to the Su family to propose marriage when you grow up." It was just a joke, but when Old Man Lin saw what Ruyi wrote, he was stunned. It's beautiful and neat hairpin-shaped regular script in small regular script. Although the pen power is slightly lacking, the characters are beautiful and even. It would be impossible to reach such a level without practicing for several years. He immediately looked at Su Yuan's father in annoyance. "Old Su, are you hiding something from us?" "What else could I be hiding from you?" Su Yuan's father was a little confused by his words. "Where did you get this from? Look for yourself at what your granddaughter has written." He slapped Rui's signature on the table. A group of people came over curiously to look at the word. After watching it, everyone really supported Old Man Lin. "Old Su, you are really a hidden talent. Your granddaughter's handwriting is really good. How long have you been practicing this handwriting? Who taught your granddaughter to write? I don't think your handwriting is as good as your granddaughter's." "He is so talented. He is so talented. If he is trained well, he will definitely become a great calligrapher in the future." Everyone was full of praise for Ruyi's calligraphy. Su Yuan's father took a look, picked up Ruyi, and said with a smile, "The child's good handwriting is innate. Does she need to learn it? She writes like this every day when doing her homework." At first, everyone was surprised by Ruyi's handwriting, but after a while they got used to it. But Su Yuan's father is used to it, but others are not. Old Man Lin sighed, pointed at Su Yuan's father, and said with a smile, listen for yourself. Is what you said human language? If good handwriting is innate, then wouldn't everyone be able to write well? Then our Ruyi is talented, and Ping En is also talented." Su Yuan's father held his grandson in his left hand and his granddaughter in his right hand. He loved them no matter how he looked at them. "Don't be envious. You can't envy my blessing." A few people chatted and laughed, and the morning passed by. At noon, everyone was planning to go home for lunch. But because some people lived too far away from here, we discussed it and decided to order takeout here today. Anyway, although this is a villa, there is a food street nearby, so it is very easy to order takeout. When they heard about ordering takeout, Ping En and Ruya's eyes lit up. "Okay, let's order takeout today. Let's order takeout today." Usually, the meals for the two little ones are carefully prepared by the chef at home. Although they are nutritionally balanced and healthy, the little ones still like all kinds of delicious food cooked outside. However, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu usually don't let them eat them. Now that they finally have the chance to choose whatever they want to eat, the two little guys will certainly not let it go. "What do you two little ones want to eat? Let Grandpa and Grandma choose for you." Su Yuan's mother picked up Ruyi. She originally wanted to hold her to order takeout, but Ruyi jumped off her knees and ran to where she put her bag with her short legs. She took out her cell phone from the bag and shook it for a while. "I have my own cell phone. I can order takeout. But we can't order unhealthy takeout." "I know, Grandma." Ruyi nodded, took Pingen's hand, found a small corner to hide in, and started ordering takeout. After the two little guys drooled and carefully selected for half an hour, they finally chose a children's hamburger set. Why does it cost more than 3,800? When it came time to pay, the two little guys were a little confused, but Ruyi didn't care. She waved her chubby hand and said, "It's more than 3,000, so it's more than 3,000. Sister has plenty of money. I'll treat you to takeout today." "Good." Seeing Ruyi paid the money readily, Pingen had no objection and nodded and agreed. Then the two of them waited anxiously for the takeaway to arrive. "Have you finished your takeout order?" When Su Yuan's mother saw this situation, she couldn't help but ask a question. "We're done ordering. What did you order to eat?" "We ordered a kids' burger combo." The conversation between the two was soon heard by Old Man Lin over there. He sighed, "Don't always let the children eat whatever they want. Those hamburgers are too unnutritious. I think it's better for them to eat rice and stir-fried vegetables." Other parents who heard this also echoed, "Yes, it's okay if those hamburgers and the like are not nutritious, and it's okay for children to eat them occasionally. The most important thing is that children will become picky eaters if they eat too much of these things." "Then you adults aren't picky eaters." Ruyi raised her little face and retorted seriously, "Do you mean you want to eat them all?" Of course, we will eat everything. Only by eating everything can we grow tall. Children who are picky eaters will not grow tall in the future. Old man Lin patted his arms and said, "Look, Grandpa Lin has grown so tall because he is not picky about food. I don't believe what you adults say. You adults are all lying." Rui shook her head like a wave drum and continued crisply. "You are not picky about food because you buy what you like every day, so you don't look picky about food." The adults looked at each other, unable to refute. Chapter 379 Zur. You just want to watch the video. 99 children's meals. Isn't that too much? Maybe we ordered something wrong. Why don't we give them a call and ask? The kitchen staff who received the order were also confused. They have been doing takeout for so many years, but this is the first time they have seen someone order 99 children's meals at once. The whole package costs more than 3,000 yuan. It can be said to be a big order. Generally, such orders need to be confirmed by phone, but now is the peak dining period. The store manager came over and looked at the detailed information of the order, then waved his hand and said, "No need to call to confirm. Look at this address." The villa in this area is obviously a wealthy family. They ordered 99 sets of meals at once. I guess they are having some kind of event at home. Hurry up and make the meal and send it over. Don't waste time. Since the store manager said so, the people below worked faster to serve the food and did not worry about the quantity. So, when Su Yuan's parents brought Ping En and Rui to the gate, they saw 4 or 5 delivery men carrying a cart full of children's hamburger sets. And face confused. "Is this our takeaway?" Su Yuan's father was a little confused. "Which one is ours? The last digit of your phone number is 3329, right? These are all your takeaways." The delivery rider took a look at the order and carried the meals down one by one. "Do you want us to deliver it to you?" Yes, it's ours." Ping An and Ruya came over and said, "But we only ordered 2. The order shows that these are all yours." After the delivery rider saw Ping An and Rui, he was immediately attracted by the 2 little guys. "You must be Ping An and Rui, right? I didn't expect you to be cuter in real life than in the video. Did you order too much?" The rider also realized that something was wrong, so he asked curiously, "If there are too many orders, I will contact the merchant. Please wait a moment." Su Yuan's father sighed, picked up Rui's small phone and looked at the order. He found that there were indeed 99 orders on the order, so he said to the rider helplessly, "No need to contact the merchant, just deliver it to us directly." What? So many children's meals. When a mountain of children's meals was placed in the lobby, everyone realized that something was wrong. This is all for peace and happiness. The 2 knew they had done something wrong and looked at Su Yuan's parents with some grievance. "Grandpa and Grandma, please don't tell Mom and Dad about this, okay?" If Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu found out about this, they would really finish all 99 children's meals. "It's too late. Your parents already knew about this." Su Yuan's father patted the little guy's head and asked, "Do you know you were wrong now?" "No." "Once you know, go home and ask Mom and Dad how to deal with it." The 2 little guys have always been very well behaved, and it was rare to see them make such a mistake. Su Yuan's parents thought it was quite interesting and turned their backs to laugh. "You guys are too spoiled with your child. He made such a big mistake and you can still laugh." Seeing that Su Yuan's parents were still laughing at this time, the others also shook their heads. Su Yuan's father, on the other hand, was quite open-minded. "Hey, it's rare for a child to make a mistake. This is quite memorable." As evidence of the mistake, except for 2 children's meals eaten by the 2 children, the remaining 97 meals were taken home intact. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had been waiting at home early in the morning. "Is the kids' meal tasty?" In fact, although the 2 kids made mistakes, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu didn't think it was a big deal. It's just $3,000. They really won't take it seriously. The point is to teach the 2 little guys a lesson. It's because they are so well behaved that we can't find any opportunity to educate them. "Not tasty." Rui shook her head in grievance, but she felt that lying was not a good idea, so she changed her words and said, "It's delicious." "How dare you say it's delicious?" "Dad, you said that children are not allowed to lie." Su Yuan coughed and called the 2 cute little guys to come to him. Come to me. Didn't your dad teach you that you have to take responsibility for your own mistakes?" "Yes." Rui and Ping'an nodded obediently. Ping'an felt something was wrong and asked with a dull look in his eyes, "Dad, there are so many children's meals. You don't want us to finish them all, do you?" "Bingo!" Su Yuan snapped his fingers and patted Ping'an's head. "This is what you ordered. Of course you have to eat it all, right? But don't worry, Dad is still very reasonable. He won't let you eat all these things in one meal. But before you come back, Mom and Dad have made a table for you. Look, there are 97 portions here in total. To be fair, Mom and Dad will help you digest one portion, so there will be 96 portions left. As for these 96 portions, you will divide them equally, which means each of you will have 48 portions. 48 servings. If you eat 3 servings a day, you can finish them in 16 days. Are you happy? Are you surprised? What? Satisfied with taking the photo of the two little guys' shocked and somewhat desperate faces, Zhao Qingsu happily posted the video on her personal account. She doesn't have to worry about making videos for the next 16 days. She just needs to film the little ones eating the children's meal every day. But, Zooer, you guys are so shameless. You actually tricked us two little ones. You are so pitiful. Don't be so cruel, right? You said you'd take it for 16 days, so what? Zooer, you just want to make a video. You guys figured it. Zhao Qingsu laughed while holding her phone. However, I still want to tinker with the video. No matter what you say, it won't work. Okay, I'm going to make some children's meal replacements for the two little ones. Although in order to make the two children feel responsible, Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu plan to let them eat children's meals for 16 days. But it's definitely impossible to let them really eat the ones sold outside. The two have already thought of replacing all the ingredients in the children's meal with healthy ingredients. This way, the two little ones can be punished and eat healthily at the same time. What? Mom and Dad aren't really going to let us eat the kids' meal for 16 days, are they? In the room, Ping An, who had just finished taking a shower, looked at Rui worriedly. I heard that if you eat too much of something, it won't taste good. How could something so good happen? Rui sighed and frowned. Mom and Dad must be teasing us. If I really had to eat the children's meal for 16 days, I would be so happy. They won't let me be so happy. Chapter 380, There's Something Wrong with You. After the hamburger incident, the two little ones became much more obedient. After the two little ones went to school, their interest in learning became unprecedentedly high. Other children avoided doing exercises, but these two children competed to see who could do the exercises faster. Seeing that they were so interested in doing the exercises, Su Yuan simply bought them some Olympiad math exercises to do. They both cooked with gusto. Zhao Qingsu was bored and live-streamed the two kids doing their homework every day. Mom, how do I do this problem? Mom, I don't know this question either. Although the two little ones have high IQs, they are still children after all, and they will always encounter questions that they don't know how to solve. However, what Zhao Qingsu feared most was that they would ask herself questions. She picked up the question, took a look at it, and frowned. She didn't know how to do Olympiad math problems when she was in primary school. Not to mention she hasn't been to school for so many years. She must have forgotten everything, okay. She hesitated for a moment. If you guys love studying so much, how about I hire you a math Olympiad teacher? What do you think? We need to cherish food. Hiring a teacher also costs money. We just don't know how to do this one question. Mom, please teach us. Ping An tilted his head and looked at Zhao Qingsu. After a moment of silence, he asked, Mom, you can't be unable to solve such a simple problem, right? How is this possible? Zhao Qingsu retorted subconsciously. Ding dong. Fortunately, the doorbell rang in time, freeing Zhao Qingsu. She quickly said to the two children, Go, open the door. Good. The two little ones ran over one after the other to open the door. My dears, have you missed us after not seeing us for so long? Chi-Han rushed in enthusiastically and picked up the two little ones with his powerful hands, but soon fell back on the sofa. My goodness, I haven't seen you for just a few months. How come you have become so heavy? Children are growing up, that's what happens. Zhao Qingsu looked at them and smiled. You'll understand when you have your own children. You have a child, who knows when that will happen? Chi-Han curled his lips but soon laughed again. But it doesn't matter, I have a godson and a goddaughter anyway, it's the same. By the way, where is brother Yuan? Although Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu have been married for 3 or 4 years, Chi-Han knows that the two are like conjoined twins, inseparable wherever they go. She was quite surprised not to see Su Yuan today. Zhao Qingsu spread her hands helplessly. I don't know where he went these 2 days. He said that he had some things to deal with in the company these 2 days. He was very busy and ran to the company every day. Why don't you go and find out what's going on? Chi-Han's eyes widened. Zin Ziulai is now an assistant with a salary of 5 million per year, and the company has hired several powerful CEOs. Does the company still need him? Isn't it enough for him to just lie down and collect money? That's not the case. He's usually very busy at home and often has to hold video conferences. So, why does he have to go to the company when he can just hold a video conference? Silently glancing at Chi Han, Zhao Qingsu curled her lips and asked, "Have you reached menopause recently?" "Hey, it's just a joke. Don't take it seriously." Chi Han smiled and asked, "What were you doing just now?" "I didn't do anything, just taught them how to do their homework." "Well, they haven't learned it in too long, so they don't know how to do it anymore," Zhao Qingsu said silently, and found an excuse for herself. Ping was about to speak, but Rui pulled his clothes. Chi Han had no idea. "You've had such an easy life that you can't even solve elementary school problems. That's a bit too much." After she finished speaking, she patted Ping An and Rui on the shoulder and said, "Didn't you always think your godmother was useless? Now your godmother is here to teach you how to do the exercises. Remember your godmother's heroic figure, ha 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 tilde tilde." "Good." Ping An nodded and put the question in front of Chi Han. "This question..." Chi Han began to frown. "This question..." Chi Han began to think. "This question..." Chi Han decided to start making excuses. She looked at Ping An and Ruyi seriously. "You know what? Godmother really envies your generation. You were born in such a good era with abundant materials and a developed network. You have everything you want and can learn whatever knowledge you want. But the era when Godmother lived was particularly miserable. Not only did you have to study hard and had no time to play, but you also had to get up early and stay up late every day to help with housework. Godmother, so how do we do this problem?" Ping An blinked his big eyes and said, "You don't know how to do it, do you?" "No, Godmother just doesn't bother to do it." Rui picked up the homework book and continued. Then she supported her chin with her white and tender little hand. "Forget it. I'll wait for Dad to come back and ask him." Rui is still smart. Chi Han looked at her seriously. "A celebrity once told us that if we encounter difficulties that we can't overcome, we should just go around them. Obsessing over them is something only fools do. Godmother, that celebrity must be you." "Ahem. It's not good for children to be too smart." After Rui and Ping An continued to work on the questions, Chi Han couldn't help but sigh. "If I have a child in the future, I don't have to be so smart. It's good to be silly. It's cute. If your IQ is up to you, you might actually be stupid." Meng Zhu tried to hold back his laughter and interjected this sentence. Chi Han was so angry that he pinched him and said, "What are you talking about? Oh, it's up to you that your child has a high IQ? I don't want him to be so tactful every day when he pursues a girlfriend in the future. If my love life had been smoother, I would probably have a child by now. What would you have to do with it?" "Yes, yes, my wife is right. Who is your old, cough, cough, cough?" As he spoke, Chi Han blushed again. She looked over at Zhao Qingsu sheepishly, only to find that Zhao Qingsu was looking at her and laughing. She couldn't help but pinch her. "What are you laughing at? I can only eat the dog food of you and brother Yuan every day, and we are not allowed to spread some dog food. Then I see you have a pretty thick skin. Why have you become so thin now?" Zhao Qingsu couldn't understand Chi Han's train of thought. "There's something wrong with you." "What's wrong with that? I'm just thin-skinned, so what? This is called girlish modesty." After she finished speaking, she pinched Meng Zhu and said, "Qing Zhu can laugh at me, but you are not allowed to laugh." I know. Next time you pinch me, be gentler. You've almost broken my arm. It's okay if I can't go to work, but I'm afraid I won't be able to hold you." Meng Zhu's eyes were full of doting. It seems that Chi Han has found the right person this time. Zhao Qingsu thought silently, very good. Chapter 381, This is True Love. "If I remember correctly, it's your birthday soon, right?" Chi Han seemed to remember something and asked, "How do you think you should spend your birthday this time?" In the past, because the children were too young and not suitable to be taken around, Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan celebrated their birthdays at home. Everyone just had a lively hot pot and birthday cake together. "Yes, it's another new birthday. Remember to come to my house then." Zhao Qingsu smiled and told her, "I've even thought of a birthday wish. I want you to have twins this year." "Oh, I only want one. I can't afford two." Chi Han waved his hands repeatedly. "I'm struggling with whether to have a daughter or a little fat boy. I think the Meng family cannot be extinct, so it would be better to have a boy. But after thinking about it, a boy would not be as caring as a daughter. I want a caring little cotton-padded jacket just like Rui." "What era is this? You still want to be childless? What are you thinking about in your little head?" Meng Zhu poked her head fiercely in anger, and then said, "Besides, having a daughter or a son is not something you can control, and you worry about it a lot. You might as well think about how to celebrate your birthday with your sister-in-law." "I'm already so old, I'm not interested in how to celebrate my birthday. Now in my eyes, it doesn't matter how you celebrate your birthday. The most important thing is that we all have a good time together, have a meal and chat. Now that everyone's life is back on track, we are all busy with work and don't have time to get together as often as before. Zhao Qingsu couldn't remember the last time she went shopping with Qi Han. It seemed like a long time ago. Qi Han waved his hands. You are still young. Why do you sound like an old lady when you say this? Don't have such thoughts. Ping An and Ru Yi are just a little bit harder to take care of in the next 2 years. When they grow up a little, you can completely let yourself go. Your good days have just begun, so don't say things like an old lady. Okay. Zhao Qingsu was helpless. How about I leave my birthday to you this time? Okay, leave your birthday to me this time. I promise to make sure you have a happy one. Qi Han patted his chest and took over the matter. What? It's almost there. At the dock, Zin Ziolai stood next to Su Yuan, made a phone call and said to Su Yuan. Su Yuan nodded. Well, I hope it's the same as I imagined. Don't worry, I've been there 4 or 5 times in the past 2 months. I personally supervised all the details. It's absolutely the same as you imagined. Having been Su Yuan's assistant for so many years, Zin Ziolai knew very well that what Su Yuan cared about most was not the company's affairs, but the safety of Zhao Qingsu and Rui Pingan. Although this time it was just a birthday gift for Zhao Qingsu. For Mr. Su and their family, this was the most important thing in the world. Not long after Zin Ziolai finished speaking, a pure white cruise ship was seen slowly approaching on the sea. The cruise ship is more than 300 meters long. The lower hull is as white as jade, while several upper floors are platforms carved out of crystal. At the top of the platform stood a lifelike statue of Zhao Qingsu. Isn't this too beautiful? It's really a big deal. I heard that this is a cruise ship that Mr. Su spent tens of billions of dollars to customize. The material used in the cruise ship is a newly developed new material. It looks like crystal, but it is tougher than crystal. Most importantly, this material is much more expensive than crystal. Hundreds of billions, spending so much money just to build a cruise ship like this. Yeah, did you see the statue on the cruise ship? I guess this statue is for Madame Su. Basically everyone on the shore who saw the cruise ship exclaimed in amazement. Some people lamented. Spending so much money just to give a woman a gift is such a waste. This isn't the first time, Mr. Su. That's true. Someone touched his nose silently. This is really weird. I mean, after a man and a woman have been together for a long time, they will become an old married couple. How come these two have been together for so long and their children have grown up, but they are still so mushy? Is this true love? Perhaps. Some people sighed silently. They always say that rich people can't get real love. Now I realize that rich people are not only rich, but also have richer emotions than us. No matter what festivals they celebrate, they are so ceremonial. What? Not bad. After Su Yuan walked around the snow clearing he customized, he found that it was exactly the same as the design he had drawn. He nodded with satisfaction, then turned around and patted Zin Ziolai on the shoulder. The day after tomorrow is my wife's birthday. I hope you can prepare well in the next 2 days. I guess you will be busy for a while, but you will be fine after this period of time. Okay, Mr. Su, don't worry. I will definitely pay attention to Madame Su's affairs. Zin Ziolai smiled bitterly. Even if she offended a ghost, she would never offend Zhao Qingsu. Okay, and this matter must be kept secret. After hearing what Zin Ziolai said, Su Yuan nodded with satisfaction. He felt very good when he thought about the surprised expression on his wife's face when she saw the cruise ship. He turned around and showed concern for his subordinates. Ziu Li, if I remember correctly, you are almost 35 this year, right? Right. Zin Ziolai was a little nervous. Would her boss dislike her for being old and want to kick her out? I know you've been working diligently for the company, but work is work, and you can't neglect your personal life. Other people can have children at the age of 35, but you don't even have a boyfriend at the age of 35. Boss Su, I know you care about me. Zin Ziolai spread her hands. But you give me 5 million a year, and you also provide me with a house and a car in Shanghai. You are much more reliable than my boyfriend. My boyfriend can't afford such a high gift, so of course I have to repay you well. Although working for Su Yuan was indeed tiring, she felt that the hard work didn't matter when she thought about how her bank account balance had exceeded 8 figures after her hard work, and that she had a big house and a $1 million luxury car. Anyway, Su Yuan will definitely not treat her badly when she retires. Wouldn't it be nice to use the money and find a young hunk when she's in her 40s or 50s? As for love, of course, she also wanted a love like the one between Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. But she knew very well in her heart that the probability of such love happening was too low, so she didn't ask for it, and decided to find a young and handsome man. Chapter 382, Mom Can't Guess This. I'm going out first. On Zhao Qingsu's birthday, Su Yuan went out early in the morning. Zhao Qingsu, who was making a loving breakfast in the kitchen, poked her head out and said, "Husband, aren't you going to finish your breakfast before leaving? Things are a bit urgent, so I won't eat for now." Su Yuan waved his hand, put on his clothes, and said goodbye to Ping An and Rui. "Be good." "I see." Rui nodded seriously and stroked Ping An's hair. "I will take good care of my brother." "Who asked you to take care of me?" Ping An pushed her hand away angrily and yelled, "Dad, I will take good care of my sister. You can go to work without worry." Alas, the man who supports the family. Rui did not argue with Ping An anymore. She just held up her young chin and sighed, then said to Ping An, "When you grow up, you have to become a man who supports the family, so you have to study hard now. I heard that the competition is very fierce now, and you have a long way to go." "What is going on?" Su Yuan shook his head. He had already changed his clothes and was about to take a taxi out when he saw Zhao Qingsu appear in the kitchen wearing an apron. "Emma, no matter how busy you are today, can you promise to come back a little earlier? Chi Han and I have an appointment to go out for dinner today, and you have to be there too." "Okay, I'll try to come back as soon as possible." Ignoring the disappointment in Zhao Qingsu's eyes, Su Yuan turned around and walked out the door, disappearing at the door. Mom, I've already decided which skirt I want to wear today." But Rui's voice quickly brought her back to her senses. She chuckled helplessly and squatted down to talk to Rui. "So, which one do you want to wear?" Anyway, Zhao Qingsu basically doesn't work now except for live streaming and making videos, so she has plenty of time to hang out at home. The clothes in her house are basically made by her, and some are custom made by her favorite designers. Anyway, she can choose whatever she wants to wear. Before, Rui liked bright colors, so her clothes were basically pink, white, red, etc. "I'm going to wear the black one." But unexpectedly, Rui chose black today. "There is a black one." Zhao Qingsu seemed to be thinking about something. Because the little one didn't like black skirts, she didn't make many black skirts, only one or two. Those one or two skirts were designed purely for her own personal show-off, without considering that the little one would actually wear them. "But why are you wearing that black one today?" Seeing Zhao Qingsu asking, Rui said seriously, "I'm grown up now. I can't wear pink every day like other little girls. Now I have to wear black clothes." Rui's reason made her unable to refute. She always advocated freedom of dress. Now seeing that Rui liked the black skirt, she changed it for her and also did a beautiful bun for her hair. Finally, she pinned a simple hairpin in her hair and put on a hat of the same color. "Dang ding dang tilde tilde, our little princess is born. How is it? Do you like it?" Seeing that Rui liked her outfit very much, Zhao Qingsu took Ping An to choose her own clothes. Ping An put his hands in his pockets and said in a condescending manner, "It doesn't matter. I'm not a girl. I'm not that picky. I can wear anything. Only sisters care about what to wear every day." The older children get, the more difficult they are to deal with. For some reason, Zhao Qingsu had an illusion that she had the least worries when the two little ones couldn't speak. But, although there is pain, isn't raising a child a mixture of pain and joy? "Mom, are we having dinner with Godmother again today?" After changing clothes for the two little ones, Zhao Qingsu took them outside to play for a while, then went back to take a nap. Then she asked the driver to drive out to eat with Chi Han and the others. The location was chosen by Chi Han. It is said to be a newly opened hot pot restaurant with very good food. Maybe because the token of their love was hot pot, Chi Han had a special liking for hot pot and would drag her to eat hot pot all day long. Anyway, Zhao Qingsu didn't care about food. Apart from paying special attention to Ping An and Rui's meals, she was basically fine with eating anything, so she agreed to eat hot pot. But when the driver was halfway there, he received a call from Chi Han. "Qingsu, I'm so sorry I have to work overtime today, so I may not be able to come over in a short time. That hot pot restaurant is too far. How about we eat somewhere else tonight?" "Eat somewhere else?" Zhao Qingsu was a little confused. What place should we change to? "Go to the pier first. There's a new hot pot restaurant there. Let's eat there today." "But it's quite far away." "I'm on a business trip there. It's very close to there. I can come over to eat right after work." "My dear Qingsu, I know you treat me the best, so I'm sorry to bother you to make the trip this time. I'll give you a big gift later to make you happy." Chi Han pleaded softly. Zhao Qingsu had never been able to deal with her, so she had no choice but to give in. "Okay, then wait a moment and I'll bring the two little ones over now." "Yeah, I'm a bit pressed for time here, so I won't talk to you anymore," and hang up. Hearing the busy tone on the other end of the phone, Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to tell the driver to nod and drive towards the dock. Ping En and Ru Yi felt a little sorry for her. Humph, godmother is really too much. Today is your birthday, Mom. She actually wanted to change the place when we were having dinner. I will definitely teach her a lesson when I see her later. Mom, don't be sad. We have prepared gifts for you too. Ru Yi softly pressed against Zhao Qingsu's arm, her raised face like a snow-white dumpling. Mom, do you want to guess what gift I prepared for you? If you guess correctly, I'll tell you. This, Mom can't guess it. Mom, just guess. There was no way to deal with these two little guys. So Zhao Qingsu had to accept her fate and start guessing things. But she guessed more than a dozen things, but none of them were correct. Mom, I wanted to give you something in advance, but since you can't guess it, I won't give it to you in advance, tilde. Ru Yi hugged her chest and said, I'll give it to you when you blow out the candles today. Chapter 383, Where did you learn these words? The time passed quickly as I chatted and laughed with the two little guys, and we arrived at the pier in almost the blink of an eye. The driver didn't know where to go, so he just parked the car at the parking lot at the entrance of the pier and began to ask Zhao Qingsu what she meant. Madam, where are we going now? Wait a minute and I'll ask. Zhao Qingsu didn't know where to go, so she could only take out her cell phone and call Chi-Han helplessly. But Chi-Han didn't answer the phone for a long time. Why do you become less reliable as you get older? You never broke your promises before. Zhao Qingsu shook her head unhappily, but in the end she had no choice but to call her again. But Chi-Han still didn't answer. She thought about it and decided that there was no rush, so she waited in the car for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, Chi-Han appeared in the parking lot panting. Oh, Qingsu, I'm so sorry. My boss is so annoying. Don't ask me to talk about the new work plan. Have you been waiting here for a long time? It didn't take long. Hurry and take me to the hot pot restaurant you mentioned. Okay. Chi-Han nodded and quickly took out a red eye mask from her handbag. Although I'm very busy, I still prepared a birthday surprise for you. In order to make my efforts worthwhile, you must wear this and follow me today. Zhao Qingsu looked at the eye mask in Chi-Han's hand and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. We have been friends for many years. We shouldn't do such nonsense. Do you listen to me or not? Seeing that she was unwilling to wear the eye mask, Chi-Han became anxious. If you don't wear it, I'll be angry. Okay, I'll wear it. Why are you still angry? You're such a grown-up, but you still throw a tantrum at me. You have no shame. It seems that you've been spoiled by Meng Zhu and become more and more childish. I'm really afraid of you. Zhao Qingsu complained about her childish behavior, but still put on the blindfold. Hold Mom's hand, don't let her fall. Chi-Han warned Ping En and Ru Yi and lip-synced to the two kids. Don't talk nonsense later, no matter what you see. No. Ping En and Ru Yi also lip-synced back. Soon, several people came out of the garage. The wind from the dock blew over from afar, carrying the fishy and salty smell of sea water, which made Zhao Qingsu feel that it smelled particularly fresh. She was slowly led forward by the two children, but she felt something was wrong as she walked. Didn't we say we were going to a hot pot restaurant? Why can't we hear anyone's voice along the way? Logically speaking, there would at least be people around to talk to, but she really didn't hear anyone talking. Something's wrong. As she said that, she reached out her hand and subconsciously tried to take off her blindfold, but Chi-Han on the other side held her hand in advance. What are you doing? You don't believe me, right? I said I would take you to a hot pot restaurant, so I took you to a hot pot restaurant. It's normal that no one talked on the way. After all, people like us who work 996 are still working overtime at this time. If it wasn't for your birthday, I would still be in the company earning gas money for the boss's Porsche. You... Chi-Han spoke in a series of ways, forcing Zhao Qingsu to finally give in. Okay, I'm just afraid of you. I won't pick it if I don't want to. I'll just listen to you. Having said that, he continued walking forward. After walking for about 5 more minutes, Chi-Han finally stopped with her. Well, Mother, she heard the two little ones exclaiming in surprise, and tilted her head in confusion, asking Chi-Han for his opinion. Can I open my eyes now? Of course. But what came to my ears was Su Yuan's voice. She was stunned for a moment, and before she could react, the blindfold on her eyes was taken off by a pair of gentle big hands. Then Su Yuan's smiling face appeared in front of her. Su Yuan looked at her with a smile. Happy birthday, wife. Today, Su Yuan changed into a white suit, which was rare to see. Ever since he had 2 little ones, he has been dressing casually and comfortably, and rarely dresses so formally. After dressing up, he made Zhao Qingsu feel like she was traveling through time, as if she was back to the time when she had just graduated from college. He was young and full of vigor and vitality. He held her hand and told her that he would love her and treat her well forever. The two of them spent every day together, and the heart-pounding feeling they had back then was long gone. But seeing Su Yuan's current appearance, Zhao Qingsu felt as if the girl she once was had returned after a long time. She couldn't help but feel shy and gently pushed him. "You asked Chi-Han to deceive me again, didn't you? You always use her as a pawn, don't you think you're being too much?" After she finished speaking, she glanced at Chi-Han beside her with a reproachful look. "Are you my best friend or his best friend? Oh, don't blame me. I'm really in a dilemma when doing this kind of thing." After sighing helplessly, she continued, "I originally thought that I would only eat your dog food for a few years, and I would be free after you had a child. I never expected this. I never expected that dog food would take so long to eat." She held the two little ones by the hand, one on each side, and said, "Just follow your godmother obediently. I'm afraid your parents won't be able to take care of you today." "Understand." Rui nodded and followed Chi-Han with Ping'an. Before leaving, she did not forget to say to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu, "Mom and Dad, have fun tonight. We too won't be a burden to you anymore." "Where did you learn these words?" After shaking his head helplessly, Zhao Qingsu looked towards the pure white cruise ship at the dock. Above the endless dark blue water, a pure white cruise ship emitting a faint glow was quietly parked there, and the statues on it emitted a jade-like glow in the night. It was as if this cruise ship had descended from the sky. The beauty is dreamy and peaceful. Zhao Qingsu couldn't hide the smile on her face. "I was wondering what you've been busy with all this time. Turns out you've been busy with this thing." "Surprising, huh?" Su Yuan hugged her slender waist from behind. "How about it? Do you think this surprise is still acceptable to you?" "Certainly." Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly, then whispered softly in his ear, "But I actually have a surprise for you too." After saying that, she took out something in his puzzled eyes. Chapter 384, Pregnant Again. It was a pregnancy test. There are two red bars clearly shown on it. Su Yuan was a little dumbfounded when he reacted. After a moment of stunned silence, he incredibly hugged Zhao Qingsu, kissed her hard on the face twice, and then happily turned around several times. Zhao Qingsu was almost fainted by his spinning. Hey, don't be so excited, I'm going to vomit." "Okay, I was wrong, I was too excited." Su Yuan took a long time to calm down. After he calmed down, he quickly pulled Zhao Qingsu onto the cruise ship and said, "Let's go. Our parents are here. Let's go over and tell them the good news." "No." Zhao Qingsu hesitated for a moment and stopped. "Hubby, I think we should talk about this later. Although pregnancy is a happy event, the problem is that she already has peace and happiness." The two little ones didn't know whether they could accept having another younger brother or sister. "If they don't accept, why?" Su Yuan also noticed her concerns and couldn't help asking, "Are you worried that the little ones won't be able to accept it?" "Yes, I am afraid of them." "You think too much. They are eager to have a brother or sister." Su Yuan knew his own children very well, "So you don't have to worry about this. If you don't believe it, we can go over and test it later." "Well, let's go over and try it out." Zhao Qingsu felt that it was necessary to take this matter seriously and not be careless. "Good." The two of them quickly boarded the cruise ship. Because Zhao Qingsu has not liked the hustle and bustle in recent years, not many people were invited to the cruise this time, only Li Heiqian and both parties' parents, and everyone was acquaintances. Seeing Su Yuan pulling Zhao Qingsu onto the cruise ship, everyone was very happy. "Qingsu, you're finally here. We've been waiting for you tilde. "I'm sorry I'm late." Zhao Qingsu glanced at everyone apologetically, then walked over to have the dishes served. "Let's not talk too much, let's eat." "Good." Since everyone here is familiar with each other, there is no need to set so many rules and regulations. Zhao Qingsu simply asked the servants to bring the food to the table, and everyone ate together and enjoyed the sea breeze. At the dinner table, Zhao Qingsu winked at Su Yuan. Su Yuan was helpless and could only look at Ping An and Rui with a smile. "Ping An, Rui, haven't you always wanted a brother or sister? What do you think if Mommy gave birth to a brother or sister for you? If you are an adult, you will understand what this means as soon as you hear it." As soon as Su Yuan said this, almost everyone at the table changed their expressions and were very surprised. "And, Mom, you must be pregnant, right?" Rui's first reaction after hearing Su Yuan's words was to quickly jump over from Chi-Han's side and run to Zhao Qingsu. And by the way, she began to complain to her. "Mom, you are so stupid. Why didn't you tell me such a big thing earlier? This isn't the situation, right?" Zhao Qingsu hesitated for a moment and looked at Rui. "Dad said if... Mom, don't think I'm a child and you can fool me, okay? You mean you're pregnant. If you're pregnant, then you're pregnant. This is a good thing. Why are you hiding it? Rui put on a stern face and began to teach Zhao Qingsu a lesson. Don't think of us as being so stingy. My brother and I both want brothers and sisters. Well, she was superficial. Since Ping'an and Rui have already accepted this matter, Zhao Qingsu has nothing to hide. She looked at everyone at the table with a smile. Yes, I got it. Oh, this. Su Yuan's father smiled and said, recently, the country has just opened up the policy of allowing 3 children, and now you are pregnant. It seems that God wants you to have a baby. This is a blessed child. In the future, our Su family will have 1 more person. Yes, this is a blessed child. Su Yuan's mother also nodded. I just don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Boys and girls alike. Chi Han continued, looking at Zhao Qingsu with envy. But you are so fertile. I also want to get pregnant. Don't shout about this kind of thing. Let's go home and take it slow. Meng Zhu responded slowly from the side. Everyone laughed at Meng Zhu's words. Chi Han lowered her head shyly and played with her phone in a bad mood. She posted a grid of the photos she took today on her social media account. It's really abominable. I still have to eat dog food after so many years. Yes, this is Zhuer's birthday present. Of course, the most important thing is that God also gave Zhuer a birthday present. Jealous. Because Chi Han appeared in Zhao Qingsu's shots so many times, many people paid attention to her. Therefore, as soon as she posted a status, the comments below exploded. I was wondering why Zhuer didn't make any noise on her birthday today. It turns out she celebrated her birthday secretly. Zhuer is so disloyal. What the hell, birthday present cruise ship? Isn't this cruise ship so romantic? There are even statues. When I saw this birthday gift, I woke up my boyfriend who was sleeping next to me and beat him up. This guy actually gave me a crystal ball on my birthday and told me that he had carefully selected it. It's going to be a live broadcast. Looking at the comments, Chi Han held out his phone to Zhao Qingsu. Look at what your fans are saying. If you ignore them, they'll be furious. You should do a live broadcast to satisfy them. Zhao Qingsu used to think that live streaming was quite interesting, but now she finds that doing live streaming every day is also a very tiring task. But live streaming still needs to be done. After all, we need to make a living. After thinking for a while, she took out her phone and was about to start a live broadcast, but she saw her mother coming over. Zhuer, come with me. I have something to tell you. Good. After taking a look at Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu asked him to take good care of the 2 little ones, and followed her mother to the deck of the cruise ship. There were few people on deck. Zhao Qingsu's mother looked around and asked, Zhuer, are you really pregnant? Yes. Zhao Qingsu nodded helplessly. Didn't I just tell you about this? How could I lie to you? It's good to have it, it's good to have it. Zhao Qingsu's mother nodded and said, how about this? I don't have anything to do right now, so I'll live at home and take care of you. Chapter 385, I'll give you news tomorrow. Mom, what do you mean by that? Zhao Qingsu didn't understand what her mother meant for a moment. Are you saying you want to come and live with me? That's not impossible. Anyway, the house is big enough. I'm not saying I'm coming to live with you. I'm saying I'm coming to take care of you during your confinement period. Zhao Qingsu's mother continued. I know you can hire a nanny or a confinement nanny, or even live directly in a confinement center, but no matter what, those who serve you are outsiders. How can they serve you as seriously as your own mother? Besides, I don't trust others to take care of you during your confinement. Mom, if I get pregnant this time, I plan to stay at the confinement center where I stayed last time. The service there is pretty good. Zhao Qingsu interrupted her mother and said, so there's no need to bother you. If you really want to take care of me, you can come and see me more often. Oh, why are you so stubborn? Isn't it better to let your mother take care of you? Zhao Qingsu's mother was a little anxious when she saw that Zhao Qingsu didn't agree to this. I know that the confinement center you live in costs hundreds of thousands of yuan a month. It's too expensive. Mom, so what do you want to say? The person Zhao Qingsu knows best is her mother. She is the kind of person who never comes to visit someone unless she has something to ask. When she gave birth to her first child, he didn't insist on coming to take care of her during the confinement period. Why did he have such an idea when she gave birth to her second child? What I mean is that if you go to a confinement center, firstly, it's too far away. Secondly, the care they provide won't be that dedicated. And thirdly, the price is too expensive. I think that since I don't have anything else to do right now, I can go to your house to take care of you and help you during the confinement period, and you can just give me some money when the time comes. Zhao Qingsu's mother finally told her purpose. As soon as the word money was mentioned, Zhao Qingsu immediately became alert. Mom, what do you mean by that? Are you short of money recently? But the problem is that it is impossible for the two elders to be short of money. Su Yuan had previously bought a house for each of them, and later he gave them 20,000 yuan each for living expenses on time every month. During festivals, they receive gifts and extra holiday allowances, so in theory, this money should be enough for them to spend. How is it possible that you are still short of money now? How could your mother be short of money at such an old age? I just want to earn more money and save it for you later. Raising 2 or 3 children is not an easy task, so I think we should save as much as possible. Zhao Qingsu's mother hesitated. Zhao Qingsu might have believed this before, but now she doesn't believe her mother's lies at all. Mom, if you don't tell me the truth about what you want the money for, I won't give you the money. You are such a fool, kid. I am your biological mother. Why are you guarding against me like a thief? Seeing that Zhao Qingsu was not easy to deceive, Zhao Qingsu's mother became a little anxious. She sighed and began to wipe away her tears. Zhao Qingsu hardened her heart and ignored her. Mom, if you don't tell the truth, I'll leave now. No matter what happens to you, it has nothing to do with me. Don't go. Zhao Qingsu's mother quickly grabbed Zhao Qingsu's hand and said, I haven't finished talking to you yet, don't leave yet. So tell me what happened. Actually, there's nothing wrong. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Qingsu's mother had no choice but to tell her whole story. This is what happened. Didn't we save some money some time ago? I felt it was a waste to keep so much money in the bank to earn interest. It just so happened that an old classmate of mine was in business, so I invested all my money in it. Later, the money was not enough, so I borrowed some more money. Invest? Zhao Qingsu was speechless. She didn't even need to think about it to know that her mother must have been cheated. Zuer, I know what you're thinking. You must think I've been scammed, but I'm telling you that my classmate's project is real and very profitable. It's impossible to be scammed. It's just that the investment amount required is too large, so it needs capital turnover. When the turnover is completed, it will definitely be very profitable. Not only can I make back all the money I invested before, but I can also make more than 3 million. Zhao Qingsu's mother quickly explained and took out her phone to show Zhao Qingsu the content of the project. This project was developed privately by the government. Not many people know about it. If you are willing, you can invest some money. I will give you dividends later. Mom, Zhao Qingsu really didn't know what to say about this matter. Originally, she wanted to persuade her mother, but she knew very well that her mother would never listen to her because she was always very stubborn. Daughter, I haven't asked you for anything in this period of time. Please help me with this matter. If you don't help, the money I invested before will be wasted. Zhao Qingsu's mother looked at Zhao Qingsu hesitantly. Mom, let's talk about the investment later. I'll go back and discuss it with my husband and then invest in you if it's possible. So when will you give me the news? I'll give you news tomorrow. What? Hubby, my mom was cheated. Zhao Qingsu turned around and told Su Yuan about this, and then explained to him what had happened in detail. After hearing the whole story, Su Yuan was a little amused and said, I really got cheated, but it's not a big deal. Tell your mother that I am willing to invest 100 million, but the prerequisite is to meet their person in charge. Zhao Qingsu immediately understood what he meant. Husband, are you trying to trap me? What else? Su Yuan shrugged. I have a lot of money in my hand, but if you want to get it, you have to have the ability. Okay, I'll go tell my mom then. Since Su Yuan had an idea, Zhao Qingsu did as he said. Zhao Qingsu replied. When Zhao Qingsu's mother heard her say that, she was so happy. Daughter, I knew you married a good husband. This is your blessing. You must grasp it well. Okay, I won't talk to you for now. For such a big thing, I have to call my old classmate first and let him be happy with me. Well, okay, then tell him to arrange a meeting as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will be too late to do so. Chapter 386. I would have forgotten it if you hadn't told me. Zhao Qingsu has been feeling a little uncomfortable about this matter concerning her mother, so she was not very happy on her birthday today. Everyone thought she was pregnant and not feeling well, so no one paid much attention to it. Su Yuan noticed that he was unhappy and ran over to comfort her. Why, are you still thinking about Mom? No. You really think I can't see it? Do you think your husband is blind? Husband? Now that she was seen through, Zhao Qingsu stopped pretending. She turned around and leaned closer to Su Yuan's chest. Alas, I feel so sorry for you that my mother did this. Although her attitude was very clear, she would not care if her mother caused any trouble in the future. But when the time comes, she can't really just sit there and do nothing, right? What's there to say between the two of us? Your mother is also my mother. People can't choose where they are born, so this matter is not your fault. Besides, your husband's gift to you starts at 2 billion. How can you care about our mother's little thing? Su Yuan chuckled and really didn't take this matter to heart. After all, she is my mother-in-law. Although she was not a good person, at least she raised a good wife for him, and that was enough. You will comfort me. Then I will only comfort you. Buff. Zhao Qingsu was amused by Su Yuan and had no choice but to go back to her seat to eat with him. In order to make her happy, Su Yuan handed her the phone and said, "Look, your fans are still eagerly waiting for your live broadcast. You can't break your promise, right?" Good. Zhao Qingsu also picked up her phone and turned on the live broadcast. "Hello, everyone, sorry to have kept you waiting. Wow, Zuer, you little heartless thing, you still remember us. I thought you had forgotten us. That's right, today is your birthday. I've been waiting for your birthday live broadcast for more than 2 hours. Show us the cruise ship." Basically, Zhao Qingsu's fans have become fixed and have become accustomed to her daily behavior of showing off their love, and they never get tired of eating such love. Zhao Qingsu smiled bitterly. "What cruise ship? Zuer, don't play dumb. We saw it over there at Hanhin's place just now. We want to see the cruise ship. The birthday present is a cruise ship. You are so happy, Zuer." Under the strong demands of a group of people, Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to walk out with her phone in hand. "It's just an ordinary cruise ship. At most, there's just an extra statue of me." The statue. Chihen didn't take a panoramic photo when he took the photos before, so everyone couldn't see what the cruise ship looked like as a whole. They thought it was just an ordinary cruise ship, but when Zhao Qingsu said there were actually statues on the cruise ship, they realized that things were not simple. Yes, the statue. Zhao Qingsu turned the screen of her mobile phone and shot it towards the sky. "Look, tilde. What the hell?" Although I had prepared myself mentally in advance, the barrage of comments still exploded after I saw the huge, glittering statue in the night sky. As expected, as long as you follow Zuer, you will never be disappointed. My original brother is still my original brother. Brother Yuan Zuer Yids. Zuer, if I were you, I would probably faint from fear from this statue right on the spot. The statue is estimated to be 4 or 5 meters high and looks particularly dazzling and elegant in the night sky. It is already shocking to watch it in the video. When you look at it in real life, the effect is so amazing that you can imagine it. It is absolutely shocking. Sure enough, the statue issue became a hot topic the next day. Zhao Qingsu was no longer surprised by hot searches, but she didn't pay much attention to them. She took a look at her private messages, and one of them caught her attention. "Zuer, I've been your fan for many years. I really like the cruise ship that Brother Yuan gave you. I have found my own love now and will be getting married after the new year, but I haven't decided where to take my wedding photos yet. I really want to take wedding photos on your cruise ship. Can I rent your yacht?" Seeing that the other party's tone was very sincere and that he had indeed been paying attention to her for several years, Zhao Qingsu was in a good mood and replied on WeChat, "Okay, you can come to my cruise ship to take wedding photos. When is it convenient for you?" What the hell? Early in the morning, the woman held her mobile phone and uttered a series of curses. She also woke up her husband, who was still sleeping beside her, and happily pointed at the words on the screen and said, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" What? The man was inexplicably woken up from his dream. He muttered something unhappily, turned over and prepared to continue sleeping. But the woman's next words immediately made her sober. "Zuer agreed that we can take wedding photos on the cruise ship." Real? After hearing this, the man suddenly woke up from his dream, then got up in disbelief, snatched the woman's phone and took a look and finally muttered to himself, "Really? It's true, our luck is too good." The two of them have chosen many locations for taking wedding photos, but overall they are not very satisfied with any of them. It wasn't until they saw the cruise ship while watching a live broadcast yesterday that they decided to rent a cruise ship to take wedding photos. But after searching for cruise rental information for half a day, I found that the unit price was too expensive. Not only was it expensive, it also failed to achieve the desired effect, so the woman tentatively sent a private message to Zhao Qingsu. After all, Zhao Qingsu is a celebrity with so many fans. There must be a lot of people who send her private messages. It is still a question whether she can see them, and even if she sees them, she may not agree to such an unreasonable request, so the woman did not hold much hope. But who knew she actually agreed? Don't just stand there, they've already agreed to this, so hurry up and give them a message. "Oh, okay. The woman nodded, but her hands were shaking as she typed because she was so happy. Half of the words she typed were wrong. She deleted all the wrong words and typed it again, but hesitated before sending it. "Is it impolite for me to say this?" I also think it's a bit impolite. How about you use honorifics?" "Oh yeah, I would have forgotten if you hadn't told me." The two discussed the wording for a long time before replying to the message. Chapter 387, 100 million is too much. The rental fee, then just give me 999. When the other party asked about the cost of renting a yacht, Zhao Qingsu just gave a random number and didn't ask for more. The cruise ship is just sitting at the dock anyway, so it might as well be rented out to someone to take wedding photos and make everyone happy. 999. Zhuor, did you miss 2 nines? The couple here was originally calculating the expenses. They had set aside 100,000 to rent a cruise ship and originally thought that the budget was too little, but they didn't expect Zhao Qingsu to only charge 999, less than $1,000. I guess it's not even enough to pay for the gas for a cruise. No, that's all. Tell me a time and I'll arrange for someone to pick you up to take your wedding photos. Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly. This matter has been settled. The woman here was so surprised that she happily took a screenshot of their chat history and posted it on her social media and Moments. The most beautiful wedding photos of this century are about to be released tilde. Everyone didn't understand what she meant at first, but after seeing her conversation with Zhao Qingsu, they were all stunned.